Good morning to you all. Good morning to you all. Yes, let's get this show rolling. Where you at? We gonna let the people tap in with us, man. You know how we do. Oh yeah, let's get it, man. I was gonna come here at 6 a.m., but I needed some more rest, man. You know, went to sleep kind of early, but then again, I woke up like around 5 in the morning. No, 4 in the morning. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this stream like around 7 a.m. But I like to get to it real early. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with my people, man? Yeah, shout out to everybody. He said a Mexican cannot speak about Chicano culture, two different cultures, unless he gives his opinion only. Well, we can speak on things, right? That's like, I could say, can nobody speak on black folks? And they can. They can give their opinion, right? You got Africans who talk about Black Americans and Black Americans who talk about Africans, just like you got Mexicans who talk about Chicanos and you got Chicanos that talk about Mexicans. So it's all in the game, baby. You know, it's all in the game. Yeah. Shout out to you from Tacoma, Washington. Is it raining in Tacoma? I heard it rains all the time in Tacoma, Washington. Kind of cloudy. You know what I'm saying? It's gloomy and cloudy. You know, that's what's going on. You heard? Top of it. He said top of the morning. Hey man, top of the morning. You know how I go? You already know. You already know how it go. Hit that like button. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. Show some love. Yeah, man. What's your name? Hold on. Let me see this real quick. Yeah, man. We're gonna let the people get in here, man, and we're gonna get it started. Salute to everybody, man. Where y'all at? Good morning. Shout out to the people. Listen, man, we can't get offended, man. We have ignorance in all cultures, man. I've called out the ignorance in black culture with the on the dead homies on the set. You got black podcasters. You said this about my hood. We got to meet up for a fade, and you got dudes in their 40s and 50s doing that, right? So I'm gonna speak on the ignorance of gang culture and how gang members have brought gang banging to the internet. And I'm gonna be real with you, gang bangers are destroying podcasting. But it makes the feds when it comes to the feds, it makes their job a whole lot easier. Look at what happened to Brick Baby. Look at Loose Cannon. Look at Big U. Ignorance and stupidity, 100%. He said, let's not forget how bad the 90s were for our people. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Bam Bam. Exactly, Bam Bam. That is a fact. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? On the dead homies. Yeah. That's the worst thing that happened to podcasting. Gangbangers coming to the internet to discuss hood beefs. That has to be some of the most ignorant stuff ever. And then when somebody say something about when somebody gives an opinion on their hood, they gotta they gotta respond. Keep my hood out your mouth and da. Man, shut up, fool. You sound crazy. All you do is talk about your set and what goes on in the hood. But you get mad when somebody gives their opinion about your hood. What a bunch of emotional crybabies. What a bunch of emotional females. See, one thing I know about a gangbanger, it's easy to defeat a gangbanger mentally and psychologically because gangbangers are emotional. This is why they always want to fight when you say something that they don't like. This is why they always want to fight when you say something that they don't like. Just emotional, like a bunch of women. I could easily trigger a gangbanger with words and defeat him mentally and psychologically, right? At that point, my friend, you got a low IQ. You got a low IQ. Anyway, man, let's get into this content, man. I'm gonna dive into that a little bit later. I'm gonna say that content for later. And we're gonna talk about the low intelligence of gang members and how emotional they are. You know what I mean? They're always triggered by something that somebody said, just like women. They're emotional and they're always triggered like women. And these are grown men in their 40s, mid to late 30s, right? Now hit the like button. You already know. Now, Haters World did a video, right? And he spoke on Cali Hood Legends, Lucky from Hood Stocks, and racism, the black community. And I think he did a great job at breaking this stuff down. So shout out to the Haters World. Good video. Good video. Now, Lucky from Hood Stocks did a podcast with Musty Vision TV. Now, I've roasted Musty Vision TV. Musty Vision TV is just terrible. He's a terrible podcaster. He has no talent. He has no personality. Shout out to you, Bam Bam. You already know. You know, the Mid City District. You already know Bam Bam. But he spoke on a lot of things that were actually true. And we're gonna get down to the nitty-gritty. The truth ain't never pretty. Well, a Chicano is a Mexican that was born and raised in the United States. You know what I mean? A Mexican can be somebody, you know, who was born in Mexico, a Mexican national. A Chicano is born in America, raised in Chicano Mexicano culture. You know, that is, you know, that's my understanding of it. And you can, anybody can, you know, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Let me put it like that. But yeah, though, man, let's get into the content.
We got Lucky from Cali Legends Media. Two Luckies that are very unlucky got caught saying something derogatory towards the black community.
Make sure you bless the live out. Musty Vision. Let me tell you why Musty Vision TV is just a terrible podcaster and he lacks personality. And he never, this is the thing with Musty Vision. Musty Vision TV never criticizes the Chicano community for anything. He always criticizes the black community. And do I care? No, I'm just pointing out his hypocrisy. Musty Vision TV never has criticism for the Chicano community. I mean, you guys hear me all the time, man. I always talk about what's dumb in our community, what black people need to stop doing. You know, all the dumb people we got in our community. I don't mind calling it out when it's time. When it's time to call it out, I'll do that. Musty Vision TV is sucking up to the Chicano community so much that he never has any criticism for them. You know what I mean? And he just sucks as a podcaster. His personality is dry. The guy has no talent, man. He sucks. You know, when you got 44,000 subscribers and you can't even get 600, or you can't even get 600 to 1,000 views on a video, you suck. You're garbage. Anyway, let's get into this video. Hater World is finna break all these situations down. Lucky from Hoodstock said that he would have caught the fade with Sporty Face if Sporty Face would have pulled up. Let me tell you something. Never pull up to somebody's event looking for problems because things could easily go sideways. That's the dumbest thing you could do. Is pull up to somebody's event where they're gonna have homeboys. Their homeboys are gonna be strapped. you're going to be at a major disadvantage pulling up to somebody's event looking for problems, looking for a fade. That is a dumb idea. So Sporty Face didn't take the bait. Now, I'm not saying that Lucky and Sporty need to fight. Let it blow over. It is what it is. It's not a big deal. But for the sake of the conversation, the smartest thing for Sporty Face to do, hey, man, let's meet up somewhere neutral. Let's get in the ring. Therefore, nobody gets shot. Nobody goes to jail. People who ain't got nothing to do with it ain't got to get hurt. So it'll be easy to avoid all of that if we can just hop in the ring and do it like that. Because if I meet up in the streets with you, my homies involved, your homies is there, it's a high probability that somebody's going to get hurt, somebody's going to go to jail. And guess what? I'm going to be the one to get in the most trouble. Why? Because I pulled up to your spot looking for trouble. So that would have been dumb on Sporty Face part if he would have pulled up to Lucky's event where Lucky has home court advantage. And then you got this. Oh, that wasn't his Vardio ain't Whittier. It doesn't matter. That was his event. So all of his people was up there, and his people, they're gonna back him up. I know that Lucky's from Northeast LA. I understand that Whittier is not his Vardio, but at the same time, that was Lucky's event. That gives him home court advantage. Never, I'm gonna say this again, never pull up to anybody's event looking for problems. Because if they lay you down or if they air you out, they can easily say that you came up there looking for problems. And they can easily claim self-defense. So don't be stupid. Anyway, let's get into the content.
And I thought we was done with Lucky from Hood Stocks, but he had a news segment on Sunday, and they brought up Lucky, the other Lucky. So let me make this clear real quick for those that don't know. There's two Luckies, one from Northeast LA and one from East LA. The one from Northeast LA is the one that said the African so and so, right? Thought we was done with that. The other Lucky is from East LA. He's the one that had the back and forth with that guy. They're from the same area. Both named Lucky. Both got caught something derogatory. And since I thought we were done and I didn't want to react to the new Lucky, but then all of a sudden Lucky from Hood Stocks is making videos about it. So I said, man, bro, if he making videos, people looking at me funny, thinking that I don't want to talk about this, in which I don't. I'm trying to move on, but I got to, cater to all my watchers, bro, to all the chat, the black homies, the Mexican homies, the white homies, the in between homies, the paisas. I gotta cater to everybody, bro. Okay, so if you look in the comments, you're gonna see 20 to 30 comments, people asking me to react to Lucky from Cali Legends Media. So look, we're gonna kill two birds with one stone. We're gonna see what Lucky from Hood Stocks got to say. I'm gonna give you my input, and we're gonna move on from this. Because right here at the Hater World, we don't look at color, we just look at righteousness. If you a solid individual, let's work together. If you a righteous homie, let's get to work. It don't
I
matter.
think Haters World is kind of like more balanced than a lot of people because he strikes me as a person who just wants to do business. It don't matter what color you are. He like, hey, let's chop it up, let's do business. And for the most part, I think he tries his best to leave his personal opinions out of it. Even though as a podcaster, sometimes you will give your personal opinion, but for the most part, I think he's just trying to cover the content because it's a hot subject. But let's get back into it though.
The color. We just had J.O. Felony. We just had
Yeah, J.O. Felony just went to the Haters World. And shout out to J.O. Felony, man, from San Diego. J.O. Felony just pulled up to the Haters World podcast the other day. I haven't watched the interview, but maybe I'll watch the interview sometime today, man. But shout out to J.O. Uh-huh.
Elboy. We just had Munchie B. We just had Gravedigger. Different colors, different races from all walks of life. They all solid and righteous. And that's all that matters, bro. Other than that, we don't care. Leave the race baiting and rage baiting and all the back and forth with the oh you're black, oh you're white, oh I own this, oh I started this, oh my family. We don't give a fuck. Not here. So I couldn't really like post it over there. And the
Now, Lucky from Hoodstock said he would have caught a fade with Sporty Face. Now that makes no sense, Lucky. It makes no sense for anybody to pull up to somebody's event. You got home court advantage. I'm pretty sure you had homeboys out there that was strapped. Nobody was out there naked. I don't believe that. I got too much common sense to believe that. So you got home court advantage because that's your event, and you got homeboys is out there strapped. That would have been a bad situation for anybody to pull up to your event looking for problems. That would be stupid. Why would I give you home court advantage? Sporty Face said, let's get in the ring. We can do it the legal way. Nobody goes to jail. Nobody gets hurt. My homies ain't gonna get involved. Your homies ain't gonna get involved. We'll do it legit. We'll do this the legit way by hopping in that ring, and we'll settle the score like that. Now, I'm not saying that Lucky owes Sporty a fade. I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying that they need to fight. I'm saying this for the sake of the conversation. Let's deal with common sense and logic. That's all I'm saying. There's no need to take it any further. I'm not instigating no fight between Sporty Face and Lucky. We could dead this. It could be literally it could be a dead issue. But for the sake of the conversation, I'm speaking about what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. Hit the like button.
team don't really post like rage baiting type of stuff. But I will give it up to neighborhood fools and Hawila because they did mark my words. Next year will be top three. All right, but I will straight up. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. Lucky from Hoostocks reacts to East LA OG calling black people so and so. The blacks speak in Swahili. Swahili is an African language, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a language like that's off the coast. The little bit of research that I've done, if I'm mistaken,
Yeah, a
leave
lot
it.
of brothers and their parents speak Swahili, right? You know, you go to prison, you got some OGs that might lace your boots and say, hey, man, learn how to speak Swahili so we can speak in codes. But then you have Mexicans and white boys who try to study that language to understand what we're talking about at the same time. So, yeah, man, you go to prison and nobody wants to go to prison. But what I'm saying is, in prison, a lot of brothers speak Swahili. You know what I mean? It's like an African language. But anyway, let's get back to the content. Now, both of these guys are named Lucky. The old man is named Lucky, and then you got Lucky from Hoodstocks, who said the African booty scratcher. So the OG, the old man, he's from East LA, and Lucky from Hoodstocks is from Northeast LA. Two different sections, but not too far from one another. Let's get it.
Down below. But let's go ahead and see what Lucky got to say.
Ironically named Lucky, who casually said the word mayate during his live stream.
I know you're talking about the homie Ricardo.
Okay, Ricardo. I don't know anything about this is just a couple of days ago, right?
Yeah, he's talking about the homie Ricardo.
Okay, during his live, ironically named Lucky, who casually said the word mayate during his live stream.
I know you're talking about the homie Ricardo.
Okay, Ricardo. I don't know anything about this is just a couple of days ago, right?
Yeah, he's talking about
Hood Legend.
Cali Hood Legend.
There you
The
go.
homie from Maravilla, Steve.
Oh, is that who runs that shit?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Lucky.
Yeah, Lucky.
Oh, the old school dude that sits in his car and does videos?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is the first I've ever heard of him. I don't know much about him, but he was just making a conversation about, I don't even know what it was about, and he just casually said mayate.
Okay.
But he kept going.
So let me say, first off, if you look up that
He casually said Mayate because that's how he talks. That's common language for him. That's just common language for him. So that's why it rolled off of his tongue. Now he did take it down because he said it was disrespectful, right? So he said he took it down out of respect. Okay, cool. But at the same time, I'm using this to content to prove that a lot of old school guys like him, the word mayata, that rolls off of his tongue so easy because that is common language for him. Now I want you to see Lucky from Hood Stars try to say, "Oh man, it means this." The definition, that's an excuse, Lucky. Don't try to tell me it means a black bug. When Mexicans call a black person a mayata, it's racial. It's a racial slur. They're not talking about a black bug. It's intended to be a racial slur when it's used against black people. We're not going to play these games here, Lucky. Don't try to say, "Oh no, and it's not really racial. It's really a black bug." And that. Nah, stop it. Let's kill the nonsense. We know what it is.
So let me say, first off, if you look up that the definition for that word, first it
Little
starts
black
out
bug.
yeah.
Here we go again. Fuck the definition. Fuck the definition. It's how it was said. It don't matter, bro. Like, let's look at the definition for beaner. What the fuck does it matter? If motherfucker called me a beaner, what the fuck do I give a fuck what the
Damn, haters world. Come on now. Now, haters world did keep it real. That's what I can't respect. Hater world said, "Nah, bro, you know what it means. You can't say, let's look at the definition. We know when you say that to a black person, we understand your intent when that word is used to a black person. Let's not sugarcoat this. Oh, when in reality it's a black bug. No, if a Mexican calls you a mayata as a black person, it's used as a racial slur. We're not going to play these games. Come on, Lucky." And shout out to Haters World for calling them out on this nonsense. Because Hater World could have easily said, "Yeah, that's true. That's true." Hater World said, "Nah, that's nonsense. We're not going to play those games." So respect to him for calling a ball and a strike a strike.
Let's continue. I don't want to hear no excuses, bro. That's the thing.
Like a beetle, like a black bug, you know what I mean? And then it goes further into derogatory terms towards black people, you know what I mean? But let's think about this though, bro. So the word started, bro, in the penitentiary when dudes are speaking Spanish, bro.
There was a podcaster.
So the blacks don't know what they're talking about, what the Mexican dudes are talking about, or the Latinos are talking about. That's how it started, bro. Let's talk about Swahili, bro. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's some derogatory terms in Swahili.
Shit,
when the blacks, when the
Dark,
Crips,
do you know any Swahili? Because I don't know shit about Swahili. I don't know about Kwanzaa, none of that shit.
The Crips and Bloods speaking Swahili. So potentially, jail terminology, bro, started with, so if the black neighbor, or if you're speaking on a tira, you know what I mean, that they don't know what you're talking about, like a word is used, llanta, you know what I mean, which is a tire, dog, you know, but it's just to throw them off from conversation for
And
the
that
blacks
is
that
for
are,
a black person, yamta.
well,
I'm assuming,
black.
right? Okay, yeah.
It means black, bro.
Exactly, yeah, I get it.
That's crazy because my little sister, we used to call her Yantita when she was little. You know, but like, again, it depends how you fucking say it. My little sister, Yantita, you know, funny because she used to roll around in circles like a tire, you know. So it all depends
Hit the like button. It ain't nothing.
how you say it, the aggression behind it, you know, and the reason behind it, most importantly.
And
Yeah, I get it.
well, you can say it's racist, bro, but it's people trying to communicate.
So it definitely
in a
started
system. There. It's prison thing, bro.
Yeah,
It's
it
prison.
started there.
Yeah,
But in the street, if someone calls you mayate,
I mean,
right?
you don't. Fools don't talk like that on the
Yeah, I
streets.
haven't.
So the black.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, bro. You know what? I'm gonna take that back. No, they talk like that on the internet comment.
Listen, me being from Los Angeles, I know what mayate means. You know, chinate, chango, all of those are racial slurs towards black people. All of those are racial slurs towards black people. We're not going to play these games.
In boxes, not in the streets. Yeah, you're right. Lucky's right. He said, no, they don't talk like that on the street. They don't. I'm trying to recall the last time I heard anybody say that.
Make sure that you guys bless the like button. It ain't nothing.
I can't recall, but I see it in the comments a shitload.
When there's war or there's conversations being had where other people can hear it, You know what I mean? That we're trying to make it so the other race, the opposing race, if it's black, if it's white, if it's Asians, I mean, white's got, you know what I mean, all kinds of different names. You know what I mean?
Peckerwood, all right.
There's just there's words that are used that potentially can, as you go down to the definition.
I get it, speaking in a different vernacular so that other races can't understand you. I get that. Everybody has code words. Even gangs have their own code words that other people may not understand. That's cool. But when you start using the word mayata and chango, those are racial slurs towards black people. We can't sugarcoat that. It is what it is. You're not going to play with our intelligence. Let's just be real and call it what it is. You call somebody an African booty scratcher and you're not black, then, you know, it's going to be looked at as a racial slur. You got Africans in Africa who don't like the fact that black Americans have called them African booty scratchers. But keep in mind, that's what an elementary school kid says to somebody else. You don't see grown people using those words like that. That's what people said in elementary school. Like, if you look at the movie Boys in the Hood, these were kids laughing at the African booty scratcher joke. Nobody grown talks like that. So in reality, that's a played out joke. But it's still a racial slur when it's coming from another race and it's directed towards a black person. Let's just call it what it is. Make sure that you guys bless the like button. It ain't nothing. Let's dive back into the content.
Now they're used as derogatory terms because the word was used in an act of war or an act of prison violence, riots, where people were trying to communicate, and we didn't want the other brothers or the white dudes or the Asians or the others to hear what we were talking about and be able to put it together. But once again, you know what I mean? I don't want to. I'll say this: that the blacks. I've been on a 4-yard where they talking about, they speaking Swahili, bro. You know what I mean? But all this crazy shit, and it's like, bro, what they saying? So there's got to be some derogatory terms in that. When there's war.
No, you can't make no excuse for that, Lucky. So what he's trying to say, well, the brothers are speaking in Swahili. Maybe they're using racial slurs towards us. Maybe. But you don't have the evidence to prove that. Let's stick to the facts. You said African booty scratchers, and Lucky from Matavia, the 60-year-old man, said mayatas. And let's get it straight. I'm not in my feelings. I'm not in my emotions. I'm just using this for content to prove a bigger point. But don't for one second think that I'm emotional over something that somebody said over the internet.
Okay.
It's like, bro, what they saying? So there's got to be some derogatory others to hear what we were talking about and be able to put it together. But once again, you know what I mean? I don't want to. I'll say this: that the blacks. I've been on a 4-yard where they talking about, they speaking Swahili, bro. You know what I mean? But all this crazy shit, and it's like, bro, what they saying? So there's got to be some derogatory terms in that. When there's war or there's.
Okay. Let's hear what this OG got to say. Salute to a Cali Legends Media. I've talked to him once.
Shout out to Nata for the 50 on the super chat. Shout out to Steffi Weffy for the 20 on the Cash App. Shout out to Mogul Mays for the 13 on the Cash App. Shout out to Desmond Hill for the 10 on the Cash App. Shout out to my people. Shout out to my folks for pulling up to support this show, for pulling up to support this good old content.
Over the phone, I've had one interaction with him, and it was good. So, I mean, as far as me saying salute to him is based off of that interaction. Okay? I don't know what he said, and I haven't heard it yet at all. I see it in the comments. Hey, Blue Devil, talking about Kelly Legends, talking about Kelly Legends. I've been seeing it, but I haven't seen no clip. Now, I will tell you, I was reacting to one of his videos. I think it was this one. And I noticed that the video was spliced. It was cut. And I even said in the video, I wonder why they cut it. It seems like they chopped a piece out. And people in the comments were trying to tell me, but nobody had a clip. And I haven't seen it yet. So I'm about to watch it for the very first time. But I have read the headlines, though. That's for sure.
Your ignorance out on social media. Another thing, I went out and I got behind you when you went and talked to that Maya because they had the impression that you were representing somebody. and you don't represent.
Now you see how the Mayata just rolled off of his son, but he's an OG. He's an OG veterano Sereno or a Southsider. I don't know if he's a Southsider or a Sereno, but he is an OG from Eastside Maravilla out of East Los Angeles. But the word Mayata, it just rolls off of his tongue so easy. Like I said, this is common language for him. This is how he talks when he's around his homies. Oh yeah, the Mayata is the Mayatas and da 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 da. You know, Holmes. Hey, Charlie, the Mayatas.
But nobody had a clip. I haven't seen it yet. So I'm about to watch it for the very first time. But I have.
Shout out to TMA Sugar. Appreciate you, baby, for being in the building. Ambitions as a rider. What's going on, baby? You know? Shout out to the beautiful ladies that's in the building. Yeah. Make sure that you smash that like button soon as you step in the door.
Read the headlines though. That's for sure.
Your ignorance out on social media.
Steffi Weffy. Shout out to my girl Steffi Weffy in the building as well. Shout out to all of my beautiful FBA sisters in the building. You heard me? We getting down and dirty. Oh yeah. Now let's get back to the content though. King Supreme be giving you that flavor. King Supreme be giving you that sauce. Yeah.
I'm about to watch it for the very first time. But I have read the headlines though. That's for sure.
Your ignorance out on social media. Another thing, I went out and I got behind you when you went and talked to that Maya because they had the impression that you were representing somebody. And you don't represent nobody, homie, but yourself. You know, and you should have made that clear to them. You should have said, hey, man, I'm not talking for nobody, representing nobody. This is just my opinion, you know. So what I did was try to go slip up behind you, try to put fires out. Because I heard what you said and I heard what they said after you left. So you got everything all twisted and all.
Okay, if I remember the reaction that I did, he's talking about Mañoso, Marv, that guy. He's basically saying, because that dude right there, he went over to the Viral Crybabies podcast and he started yapping about how he teaches black history and he's an important guy and he knows this and a bunch of weird shit, right? So I guess OG was trying to
he called them the viral crybabies. I guess Haters World and Haters World and Viral Way got like, you know, they don't really care for each other. You know, I believe Haters World made some videos about them. Viral Way has made videos about him. So there's I smell a dislike there, but you know, it is what it is. Let's get back to the content. But shout out to the Viral Way podcast, by the way. It is what it is.
OG did have an issue with the Viral Crybabies as well. Because he went over there trying to correct them and tell them, hey, this fucking weirdo don't talk for anyone. So he went over there trying to clarify it. And now that he's making a video talking to that guy, said the M word. Look, at the end of the day, whether it's a word that started in prison or whether it's a word that started because of war, may be true. I don't know. Lucky would know more than me. You know, regardless of where it came from, if you're saying it in a derogatory fashion, then yes.
That potentially can, as you go down to the definition, now they're used as derogatory terms because the word was used in an act of war or an act of prison violence, riots, where people were trying to communicate, and we didn't want the other brothers or the white dudes or the Asians or the others to hear what we were talking about and be able to put it together. But once again, you know what I mean? I don't want to. I'll say this: that the blacks. I've been on a 4-yard where they talking about they speaking Swahili, bro. You know what I mean? But all this crazy shit, and it's like, bro, what they saying? So there's got to be some derogatory terms in that. When there's war or there's neighbor, or if you're speaking on a tira, you know what I mean? That they don't know what you're talking about. Like. So the word started, bro, in the penitentiary when dudes are speaking Spanish, bro.
There was a podcaster.
So the blacks don't know.
All right, let's go to the next clip. That was that. Now I want to go. I want to get to the full thing. Here it goes right here.
Washington. Oh,
Dude, they got a fucking.
Look at Musty Vision TV. Got Musty Vision TV in the building.
Sexual chocolate.
Sexual chocolate. Yeah, I love that dude. That dog is. I love that motherfucker, man. I always tell the fellas, bro, behind the scenes without you here, I said,
Pay for air conditioner. Everybody got sweaters on and this shit's hot as fuck.
Lucky Grimy, he bought the PS5 without getting the PlayStation subscription. What is the subscription, bro? Put me up on that, bro. I need to put up on all game, bro.
Tell us
Good.
what happened.
Yes.
Hold on, you guys.
Dude was doing some creepy shit. I just couldn't hang out with him.
I mean,
sorry.
I'm a registered bicycle seat sniffer, bro. You know what I mean?
I thought
You know, and yeah, what he said about Charlie Kirk, no, Charlie Kirk is not fucking ML. I've heard people say that in
My fault, you guys. I lost the timestamp. I had the timestamp, man, but I'll get back to it.
recent time.
Yeah, you're
stick
right.
to what you know. No, bro, sorry. You know what I mean? Like you guys got it going on, bro. You know what I mean? And we look up to a lot of, you know, Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? My dog Denzel Washington. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like we dogs though. You know what I mean? Training day, let's go. Not Michael Jackson. You dog. You know what I mean? Like black culture, like raised a lot of Mexicans. Like we grew up on gangster rap,
Facts,
homie.
man. That's
and
real.
Ice
Oldies.
Cube.
If
I
it
mean,
wasn't for-
oldies,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Don't we're not in the back seat. I mean, we might be fucking, you know.
So of course, see, we know Mexicans grew up on black culture because black culture is dominant. You know, from our music to the entertainers, you know what I mean, to the athletes, the rappers, and all of that. You know, black culture. You know, we influence a lot of people just with our style, our swag, our vernacular. So let's keep it a stack. So that's why none of this racism should exist. Because I can promise you this. Black households never taught our people never taught us to be racist towards Mexicans. That's not something that our people has ever taught. If anything, we would be more worried about white people just based on the history that we have with whites in this country. But black people were not raised to hate we were not raised to have hatred towards Mexicans. That's just the truth. All this stuff comes from the prison, it comes from the streets, and you know, you learn how a lot of Mexicans feel about you once you get older and you begin to understand the world a whole lot better. But no, black people were not raised to hate Mexicans or Latinos. I'm being honest with you. No sugarcoating.
Lock down.
Facts.
Sometimes
facts.
people
Yeah,
say,
they're not tripping.
sometimes people are saying, why is Mexicans talking about blacks? You know what I mean? Stick. Oh, there's a fork in the road for some people, man.
Here we go right here. I think I found the timestamp. Make sure that you guys bless that like button.
Can't be really mad at them. I'm not mad at them. Even if I disagree with them, I cannot be mad if a person is following their heart. And I'll 100% say, HB Chemistry, you fucking missed the target by a mile away. She was not there for clout, bro, because that's no clout. That's anti-clout.
Yeah, you don't win off of that,
that's suicide, motherfucking martyr shit,
Especially in
bro.
hip hop and in the
It's a
black
death wish.
community.
That's a death wish, bro.
Suicide for sure.
Yeah, like
She's not gaining no fans with that.
you know, but a lot of artists have done that. Let's talk about people that have supported Trump, Lil Wayne, you know what I mean?
Snoop, all these
Kodak,
people,
you know what I mean?
Snoop.
Snoop just got the check,
Yeah,
bro.
But I mean,
He-
Snoop did the shit the last time. He said anybody that goes and supports them, whoever sings over there.
I've heard people say that in recent time.
Yeah, you're
stick
right.
to what you know. No, bro.
Lock down.
Facts.
Sometimes
facts.
people
Yeah,
say.
they're not tripping.
Sometimes people are saying, "Why is Mexicans talking about blacks?" You know what I mean? Stick to your own shit. Well, check it out. Blacks is pop culture, bro.
Why is Messi? That's the stupidest thing I think
no,
I've
no,
ever.
it's
Why is
no.
Mexicans talking
Nobody
about
said that in the chat.
Look at Musty Vision TV. He always got something said about black people, but he never has no criticism for Chicanos. I'm not saying you need to dislike Mexicans, but let's be real, Musty Vision. You never have any criticism for the Chicanos, but you're quick to say what you dislike about blacks. Musty Vision TV is a tap dancer. He don't represent black folks at all. Matter of fact, let me say this to the Chicano community. You guys could have Musty Vision TV. We don't want nothing to do with Musty Vision. Clearly.
I've heard people say that in recent time. Stick to what no, bro, sorry. You know what I mean? Like you guys got it going on, bro. You know what I mean? And we look up to a lot of, Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? My dog Denzel Washington. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like we dogs though. You know what I mean? Training day, let's go. Not Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Like black culture, like raised a lot of Mexicans. Like we grew up on gangster rap, homie.
Man, that's
and
real.
Ice Cube. I mean, you know what I mean? And we look up to a lot of, Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? My dog Denzel Washington. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like we dogs though. You know what I mean? Training day, let's go. Not Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Like black culture, like raised a lot of Mexicans. Like we grew up on gangster rap, homie.
Man, that's
and
real.
Ice Cube.
If
I
it
mean,
wasn't for-
oldies, bro.
yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Don't we're not in the back seat. I mean, we might be fucking, following you in another car, bro. But we in the same lane,
Well,
bro.
when it comes
Don't be
to
a hater,
hip-hop-
bro. Let us live a little
Call
bit.
y'all nigga too then.
I mean, you could, and we have, but until we say it is a problem.
Then it's
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, until we say it, you know what I mean? I got,
And
I
that's
got
the
Brother
irony.
Lynch going out for me,
No,
bro. You know
that's,
what I mean?
yeah, and that's the irony of the whole situation that you are in recently, Lucky, is that it's weird that we accept, and yes, I said accept, everyone else to say the N-word. But when someone says African booty scratcher, now we have a problem.
Yeah, man.
We've accepted I hear more other races than black people say N-word because we accepted it once again. If we would have nipped it in the bud, or if we wouldn't have stopped, if we would stop saying the N-word tomorrow, the whole world would stop saying it. Because going back to Lucky's point, what we say is cool. It sets the trends. If we would stop it,
That's true. What black people say and do sets the trends because we are the culture. We are the trendsetters. I don't say that to be arrogant or egotistical, but it's just a known fact. If black people stop using the N-word today and we said it ain't cool, everybody else would follow because black people are the trendsetters. We are the culture. Lucky even admitted that. We know that Mexicans grew up listening to music and they're heavily influenced by black culture. Like, let's go back to the 1920s and 30s. The Mexican Pachuco culture came from Dan Calloway and the Harlem Renaissance brother and the black jazz musicians who would perform on Central Avenue in Los Angeles. So that's how Mexicans came up with the Pachuco culture, because they were heavily influenced by the jazz musicians who happened to be black. So history always repeats itself. Blacks, we've always been the trendsetters. And I said it before and I say it again. Music influences culture. Let me say this for you people who are too slow. Music influences culture, and blacks have always dominated music. So if we dominate music, we influence the culture, and everybody else just follows the trends that we set. Now, that's one of the most intelligent things that I've heard Musty Vision TV ever say.
Lock down.
facts.
Sometimes people say,
they're not tripping.
sometimes people are saying, why is Mexicans talking about blacks? You know what I mean? Stick to your own shit. Well, check it out. Blacks is pop culture, bro.
Why is messy? That's
Cap
just
Calloway, my bad. I don't know why I said dang. Cap Calloway, my bad. I don't know why I keep saying dang. Shout out to Cap Calloway. My fault. Cab Calloway and the brothers in Harlem, and Central Avenue in Los Angeles was once called the West Coast Harlem. That was known as the West Coast Harlem because all the jazz musicians would perform on Central Avenue, right? And Central Avenue is the same street that the Black Panthers, the Los Angeles chapter of the Black Panthers, that was their headquarters on Central Avenue. So Central Avenue has a lot of black history. There's a lot of deep black history on Central Avenue in Los Angeles. I mean, now Central Avenue looks like Mexico now, but if you go back 50, 60s, something years ago, Central Avenue was predominantly black. You know what I'm saying? That's where all of our jazz musicians went to perform, at the clubs and the nightclubs up and down Central Avenue. The Black Panthers had a building on Central Avenue. So yeah, I'm just giving you guys some history. I'm just educating you on the history of Los Angeles. But let's get back to the content.
stupidest thing.
No, nobody said that in the chat, but I've heard people say that in recent time.
Yeah, you're
stick
right.
with, no, bro, sorry. You know what I mean? Like, you guys got it going on, bro. You know what I mean? And we look up to a lot of, Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? My dog Denzel Washington. I mean, I don't know him, but I feel like we dogs though. You know what I mean? Training day, let's go. Not Michael Jackson. You dog. You know what I mean? Like black culture, like raised a lot of Mexicans. Like we grew up on gangster rap,
Facts,
homie.
man. That's
and
real.
Ice
Oldies.
Cube.
If
I
it
mean,
wasn't for-
oldies,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Don't we're not in the back seat. I mean, we might be fucking, following you in another car, bro. But we in the same lane,
Well,
bro.
when it comes
Don't be
to
a hater,
hip-hop-
bro. Let us live a little
Call
bit.
y'all nigga too then.
I mean, you could, and we have, but until we say it is a
Then
problem.
it's a
You know what I
problem,
mean?
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, until we say it, you know what I mean?
Look up Cab Calloway whenever you guys get a chance. I don't know why I kept saying, dang, my bad, my fault. Cab Calloway, man, he was very influential in music, right? He was a jazz singer, man, and he was born. Cab Calloway was born December 25th, 1907 in Rochester, New York. And, the black jazz musicians are the ones who popularized the zoot suits. So do your homework on that.
I got,
And that's
I got
the
Brother
irony.
Minsky going out for me.
No,
bro,
and
you know what I mean?
that's the irony of the whole situation that you are in recently, Lucky, is that it's weird that we accept, and yes, I said accept, everyone else to say the N-word. But when someone says African booty scratcher, now we have a problem.
Yeah, man.
We've accepted I hear more other races than black people say the N-word because we accepted it once again. If we would have nipped it in the bud, or if we would have stopped, if we would stop saying the N-word tomorrow, the whole world would stop saying it. Because going back to Lucky's point, what we say is cool. It sets the trends. If we would stop it, then if we would stop saying it, then it would be a done deal. We wouldn't even have this topic. But it's just so funny that we allow people to say the N-word, Asian, Hispanic, white. But my boy says African booty scratcher, and now it's a fucking problem.
Goddamn right.
You know what? I just don't tiptoe around racism because I'm not racist.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like, I gotta be careful. You know who's gotta be careful? Like we said before, a racist person's gotta be careful. Me, I'm just like, fuck, dog, come on. Who's it coming from? It's coming from your boy right here. You know what I mean? Why are we getting so butthurt? Oh, I know why we're getting butthurt. Okay, well, the certain individual planted the seed, you know what I mean? And then bop, you know what I mean? Everybody threw some water on it, you know what I mean?
Because he makes money off.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this to Lucky. I say this to Lucky respectfully. Lucky, when you ask that Mexican chick, does she think is Blueface handsome, right? And she said no or whatever, right? Not to her. And then you went on to say, well, do you date black guys? She said no. And you said, why not? Why not? And she said, Pinot Code Trece. And you said, that's right. That's right. That's why you got me on that's why I got you on my show. Then you went on to say, well, if you did date black guys, I would be disappointed. I would be disappointed. So you was baiting her. That's race baiting. The moment she said that she don't date black guys, you should have just left it at that. There's nothing wrong with a woman having her own preference. I'm cool with that. I'm not going to police somebody's preference. The moment she said she is Pinot Code Trece, what she's saying is she only want to be with Mexican Latinos. That's cool. Leave it at that. You went on to say, well, if you did date black guys, I would be disappointed. So that whole conversation stems from the Jenny 6ix9ine Blueface situation. I spoke on that yesterday. So that made you look racist right there. Because if it wasn't for Jenny 6ix9ine sitting in Blueface's lap, this conversation would have never happened. Lucky saying African booty scratchers would have never happened because the whole conversation stems from the Blueface Jenny 6ix9ine situation. You dig what I'm saying? She said, I don't date black guys. Pinot Code Trece. You said, that's right. That's why you on my show. Oh, I would have been disappointed if you dated black guys. So that's what made you look racist. You did it to yourself. You can't blame the people for responding to what you said. If you listen to everything that Lucky from Hoodstock said in totality, the reality of it is you came across very racist. Oh, I'll be disappointed if you like black guys. When she said she didn't date black guys, you should have just left it at that and moved on to the next question. But you didn't. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Off of black culture.
Exactly, but let's not talk about that. Let's move on.
There
let's
you
move
go.
forward, guys.
There you
I mean,
go.
we're
Yes.
that's behind us.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes. We were Nicki Minaj.
But how? If African American is all black culture, it's popular culture right now.
It's popular
But I
culture.
would say
It's
hip hop's
pop
on the
culture.
decline, though.
100%.
That's what I wanted to do.
100%. But let's think about like for all these years, it is ingrained in us of like what we watch and like entertainment. Like who are the best entertainers? You know,
It is.
It is the brothers. You know what I mean? The comedy is fucking absolutely amazing. The music is fucking golden, bro. You know what I mean? The acting. I mean, we can go on and on and on. Like, bro, you guys got it going on, bro.
And soccer than y'all.
Yeah, we got soccer.
Y'all got soccer.
And a little bit of baseball.
Yeah, I got the
Yeah,
a little bit of
Jamaicans
baseball.
doing their shit.
Yeah.
Y'all got soccer.
And miniature golf, handball. Got handball.
Oh yeah, y'all got handball for sure. When I was locked up, they was playing handball like a motherfucker in there. All Mexican.
Yeah, bro. We shoot
But-
that handball, bro.
But yeah, I truly believe if it weren't for Latinos, that hip hop would not have
Now you wanna
survived.
Say Latino, say Mexican. Man.
I mean, because it's not just Mexican; it's
Yeah, there's
Honduran, it's
everybody.
Guatemalan, yeah. So
Dominican.
you know what I mean? I know to us, I know to us.
Now, Latinos do buy a lot of hip hop. There's no denying that. So Dusty Vision TV said if it wasn't for Mexicans, he don't think that, or Latinos in general, he don't think that hip hop would have survived because, in other words, blacks are not buying hip hop. Latinos are. There's some truth to that, but it just depends on what state you're in, right? Because I believe that white people and Asians buy the most hip hop. Now, Latinos might be up. Latinos they're probably at the top of the list as well because Latinos do buy a lot of hip hop and rap tickets. They buy a lot of albums. They go to the concerts. That is a fact. Now, I don't know if I can agree with that. What Dusty Vision TV said, if it wasn't for Latinos, I don't think hip hop would have survived because we need consumers for hip hop to thrive, for hip hop to stay alive. You need a consumer. And what he's saying is blacks don't buy it. Blacks are not the consumers. Blacks are not the ticket buyers for these concerts. Now, let me know in the comments if you agree with that. Give me your thoughts in the comments.
I said just black people, everybody's Mexican.
All that is
We watch and like entertainment. Like who are the best entertainers? You know,
It is.
It is the brothers. You know what I mean? The comedy is fucking absolutely amazing. The music is fucking golden, bro. You know what I mean? The acting. I mean, we can go on and on and on. Like, bro, you guys got it going on, bro.
And soccer than y'all.
Yeah, we got soccer
Y'all got soccer.
and a little bit of baseball.
Yeah, I got the
Yeah, a little
bit of
Jamaicans
baseball.
doing their shit.
Yeah.
Y'all got soccer.
And miniature golf, handball. We got handball.
Oh yeah, y'all got handball for sure. When I was locked up, they was playing handball like a motherfucker in there. All Mexican.
Yeah, bro. We shoot
But-
that handball, bro.
But yeah, I truly believe if it weren't for Latinos, that hip hop would not have
Now you wanna
survived.
Say Latino, say Mexican. Man.
I mean, because it's not just Mexican; it's
Yeah, there's
Honduran, it's
everybody.
Guatemalan, yeah. So
Dominican.
you know what I mean? I know to us.
Now, when you go to the Midwest, down south, and the East Coast, that's a different thing. Mexicans are not the biggest population, you know, in the Midwest, down south, or the East Coast. That's the West Coast. You know what I mean? But I get what he's trying to say. On the West Coast, I would say that Mexicans probably buy the most concert tickets. They spend the most money on hip hop on the West Coast. That doesn't speak for the rest of the country.
I know to us it's just black people. Everybody's Mexican.
All that is all black.
Don't leave out the tortilla scratchers.
But if Latinos did not support hip hop, then hip hop would not have survived. It would have died
On the
a
real.
long time.
You go to an Ice Cube. You
Oh,
go to
dog,
a Snoop
DJ
Dogg.
Quick, 99% Latino.
Yeah.
All Latino, bro. We the reason we have contributed
On the real.
No.
big time to your millions
What?
Yeah.
of dollars.
More,
Put some
especially on the
respect
West
on our
Coast.
name, bro.
Especially
Know
on the
what I
West
mean?
Coast.
Put some respect on our
Too
shit,
short.
bro.
And y'all have like 90
Yeah, Bobby G does a lot of concerts, and
That is
hip hop's
racist,
always
dog.
there.
Dark said
Even
y'all
though-
got 90-some kids.
I was at a car show.
Well, he didn't get butthurt about that. So it's some, I get it, man. And listen, man, I think Lucky's being more diplomatic. I think he did what he did to put the fire. So we're not going to drag this any further. We said what we had to say. We're going to finish this podcast, but Yeah, man, we're not butthurt. Sometimes you just got to correct things and nip it in the bud. Now, let's get back to the content though. Now, on the West Coast, yes, because Mexicans are their biggest population. And when you consider the fact that they've been influenced by hip hop, they're gonna be hip hop's Mexicans are the biggest consumers of hip hop in California, hands down. Hands down.
Joe and San Pedro recently, all old school artists from the 70s and 80s. Shout out to World Class Wrecking Crew, my boys Williams. I mean, they were just performing, and it was all Latinos, man, supporting those black artists. Dog.
One of my favorite jokes is from Cat Williams, and he was talking about he went to Quinceañera, and he said these Mexicans pulled up, man, and he said they just kept on coming out the back seat, man. It was like a clown car, and bro, I thought that shit was funny as fuck because it's true as fuck, bro.
Because a lot of stereotypes are based on truth,
bro,
man.
like stereotypical shit is dumb comedy, bro. Bro, these dudes can go back to fucking episodes in the past, bro, and I'm sure they can find far worse things than African booty scratcher on the podcast.
You know, the crazy part about that is they thought that you meant going against just blacks, not going against everybody and as a whole.
I was just having fun, bro.
Yeah, but
I was having fun with her.
No, what I'm saying when
and I don't care if she's with a black dude. I'm just like, you would have be with a black dude, wouldn't you?
Saying when you said they can go back in your past.
About when the black dude with a Mexican.
Well, yeah, but if there was as many, bro, if there was as many blacks in LA as there is Mexicans, then we'd have a lot of black girlfriends, bro. Yeah, I'll tell you that, homie.
It's true.
You know what I mean? You motherfuckers be mad. We should be sitting at the Thanksgiving table, bro, with a tortilla, homie.
Cornbread or none of that. Straight tortilla.
Yeah, bro. We fucking, you be hating.
Turkey tacos.
You be hating on little.
Oh man, you know,
asses at your motherfucking barbecues, homie. You know what I mean?
I'll be fucking up everything.
Yes, that's what we do, sir. We fuck up everything, dog.
Wait, y'all too?
This is good, brother. Hey, love, baby. Love, man. Come on now. Welcome to Hood Stocks. If you ain't ready for it, bro, then just fucking unplug.
That's the Latino right there that he was asking the question about. Do you know, like the black dudes? And then Dusty Vision TV said, oh, she has a preference. Like Dusty Vision was sounding real moist and sweet when he said that. You guys are just mad because she doesn't date black guys. She has a preference. I'm like, come on, Musty. You sound moist. Nobody was upset about her preference. People just felt that Lucky was being a little racist when he said what he said. But we're over that now, man. Nobody's tripping. We addressed it. We're going to move on for it. But at the same time, I believe dialogue and conversation is very important to get to the bottom of these situations. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, man, let's get back to the content, though.
The TV and motherfucking Kick Rocks, go find yourself another channel, bro. This is not for the weak-hearted, bro. This channel is not for the sensitive. Since day motherfucking one, bro.
And Dusty, listen, Dusty, when you covered hip-hop, those were good. I subscribed to Dusty Vision's channel way before he started putting the cape on for Mexicans. Now, when he was just talking about hip-hop and he would interview gangsters, his podcast was good once upon a time, but once he started caping for Chicanos, and let me say this, I'm not saying that Dusty has to talk crazy about the Mexican community, but Dusty never has criticism for the Chicano community. He agrees with them and he co-signs everything they does, but he never offers any criticism. He only criticizes his own people. You know, you're never going to see him have criticism for the Chicano Mexicano community. He'll put on his cape for them, but criticizing them, absolutely not.
We've been popping shots at all, man, homie.
Anybody can get it.
Anybody can get it here on Hood Stocks, bro. You know who gets it the worst, bro?
Black people.
No, I'm just saying.
I get it.
Dusty, nobody's your fan, Dusty. Dusty, man, listen, I say this respectfully to Dusty. You got Dusty in the chat right now. Dusty, a fan, you have nothing to be a fan about, Dusty. In my feelings, Dusty, you're corny. Your jokes are corny. You got a dry personality. and you stay on your knees slurping the Chicano community, begging the Chicanos for human DNA, if you know what I mean. Dusty, you're not witty, you're not funny, you ain't got enough swagger, you ain't got the sauce, you ain't got what it takes. Listen, homie, you can never get me in my feelings. You don't have the swagger, you don't have the sauce. You're dry. Your personality is super dry. Your personality is drier than a Mojave Desert. Your personality is drier than a Mojave Desert. Go look at Dusty Vision's TV channel. I'm gonna do you a favor, Dusty. I'm gonna bring some traffic to your channel, Dusty. I'm gonna bring some traffic to your channel. The Mexicans that you cape for don't even watch your videos. You got 44,000 subscribers and can't even get 1,000 views per video. That is pathetic. Now imagine if you had 44,000 subscribers and you can't even get 1,000 views per video. The Raza community that you cape for, they don't even watch your content, because if they did, you would average way more than 200 views per video. Do you know that Musty Vision TV averages 200 views per video and he got 44,000 subscribers? Nobody, you don't have fans, Dusty. It's clear to see that you don't have fans, buddy. Listen, homie, this is my brand new channel. I just started doing content on this channel maybe like in October. Look at the views that I get on my live streams, and I barely started creating content on this channel. Do you know that my main channel was shadow banned? My main channel was demonetized and shadow banned, and it still did decent numbers while being shadow banned. This is a brand new channel, and my views are blowing Musty Vision TV out of the water. Musty Vision TV can't even get 500 views per video with 44,000 subscribers, and he got the nerve to talk about having fans. Musty, you ain't got no fans, bro. You average 200 views per video.
The worst. Yeah, Casey gets to the worst, bro. Casey gets to the worst, bro. Hey,
he said, I've been on live. Do you know, Dusty? Do you know somebody sent the $50 cash? Somebody sent the $50 super chat. Do you know that I got 6 cash apps? And somebody sent the 50. See, now he wants to count my money. You see, this is how you know, Dusty, you my broad, bro. You a groupie, you my broad. You trying to count my money, Dusty? You trying to count my money, Dusty? I already got 6 cash apps and a $50 super chat. You trying to count my money, Dusty? Get on your knees, Dusty, and serve your master. I'm your master, Dusty. Get on your knees. I know you want to count my money like a certified groupie. Dusty over there looking like a groupie trying to count my money and don't even know what he's talking about. Come on, Musty Vision. Sitting up there looking crusty and musty. Got the nerve to call himself Dusty. I know why he calls himself Dusty, because his vision ain't clear. He can't see clear. That's the perfect name for a dusty ass channel, Dusty Vision TV. Why? Because you can't see clear. And you're trying to count my money like a certified groupie.
Casey's an honorary black person right here on the show. You know what I mean? Because he does get it. I mean, since you say black, he will get it the worst. You know what I mean? You know? hey, Dark, if you can give him a good black name, what would be his name, Casey? Jerome?
Hey, do you know Musty Vision always gives me a good laugh? One thing I can say about Musty Vision TV, he always gives me a great laugh. Musty trying to count my money like a certified groupie. Come on, Musty.
Jerome? Tyrone?
Hey, Musty Vision TV, I'm going to send you to Figueroa to get my dough. I'm going to send you to Figueroa to sit up there and get my dough. Bring back that money, Dusty. You already, listen. You're on your knees, slurping up the Chicano muni, begging for human DNA. You might as well go to Fig and do it big, and bring the bread back to red. Listen, Dusty, I'm gonna give you a lace front wig, some high heels, some lipstick, and a mini skirt. I'm gonna send you to Figueroa to get my dough. Yeah, going over to Figueroa to get my dough, Dusty. Since you want to count my money, Dusty.
That fool said it too. Oh man. All right. So what else?
Dusty Vision TV. You're not even worth the conversation. The Chicanos don't even watch you. You only get, listen, and I'm not even lying. Click on this icon and look at his latest videos. He got 44,000 subscribers and he averages 200 views per video. I'm doing you a favor by even talking about you, bro. I'm doing you a favor. Go look at Musty Visions TV. I'm gonna bring some traffic to your. I'm gonna bring some traffic to your dusty ass channel. Click on this icon, and you're gonna see. Damn, Red was telling the truth. He got 44K subs, and he averages 200 views per video, and that is pathetic. That is truly sad. That is a dusty ass channel.
Guys, Rick,
What else
pass
you
the
got,
Rick.
baby? Go for it.
Now I was with the gadget shit, but you know it's all the same. Like me myself, I got some the
Hey, Dusty, man, I gotta admit, I'm doing you a favor by driving traffic to your channel. I'm doing you a favor by driving traffic to that dusty ass tired channel you got over there.
Meta glasses. So when I seen that the top gifts were
How are those, dog? The medics.
they're cool. I haven't really got into it yet. Like I got them. I got the ones that are transition. So like they're light.
Hey, Dusty, I got a lace front wig for you. I'm gonna give you some lipstick, a lace front wig, so you can go to Fig and do it big and bring the bread back to Red. You dig what I'm saying? Come on, Dusty. You want to count my money? Since you want to count my money, Dusty, I'm gonna sit you down on Figueroa so you can bring Daddy back his dough. I'm gonna put you down on Figueroa. Yeah.
But in the sun they transition to.
So how does that
to
work?
shade.
And I'm just thinking like a pervert because, you know.
I know I went off topic. Roasting Dusty Vision TV. I went off topic. I did. I admit it. Let's get to the part where he talked about Sporty Face in the fade. I want to get to that part. Enough of we roasted Musty Vision TV enough. We're gonna get back to the topic. We already roasted Musty enough. We roasted you enough, Musty. Hold on, I gotta find a timestamp where he spoke on Sporty Face. But yeah, we got off topic. Sometimes I got to give you guys some comedy, man. I got to give you comedy. We already roasted Musty.
It's not like
Yeah.
it's
He
all
knows it's
fake.
not
It's
true.
all
He knows
fabricated.
it's not
It's all
true.
just for views. It's all to
Yeah.
just.
And Casey's wife is
100.
black. Casey's wife is black.
Yeah.
You know he's on the
Let's go here. I'm gonna go to another video because I got to find the timestamp. So we already gave Musty enough attention. Let's move on.
I'm going to be talking about from now on in this channel the hypocrisy in here, and
Now he's calling out the Chicano community right here, and I forget his name, man. I'm gonna show him some love though, because I'm using his video. Big Shirt Style, man. Shout out to Big Shirt Style. He's a Chicano and he has criticism for the Chicano community. So let's see what Big Shirt had to say. Let's get it.
more single mothers. No wonder our community is so stupid. I mean, we were all raised by single mothers because our dads were in prison. And who do we have to look up to? More single mothers that sell their body online. No wonder we're so low IQ. Would you look at that? We don't have a father figure, but you know who we do have to look up to? Lefty Gunplay and all these other rappers that promote being in a gang, going to prison, and doing burpees. Like, and eating spreads too. Don't forget about that part. This is going to be day one of exposing the hypocrisy in our community, the Chicano, Cholo, Raza, whatever, Mexican, whatever you want to call it now, whatever it's become. I'm going to be talking about from now on in this channel the hypocrisy in here, and I want to preface the rest of my future videos with this video right here, because this is one big problem I've noticed, is that all of us become famous from hate. We can start with Jenny 69. Jenny 69 became famous because of a song that she made that was so ridiculously garbage that it became a meme, and you just heard about it everywhere. And now she's leveraged that to create a whole entire career. This might seem a bit hypocritical of me because I'm probably going to get accused of hating these people, which I'm going to say right now, I don't hate these people. I'm just using these as examples to build my point because I'm actually going to provide a solution.
Hold on. Now let's go back to this. This is where Lucky said he would give Sporty a head up fade. This is the haters world. I'm gonna come back to the guy with the shirt. Now here it goes right here.
All right.
Now, shout out to the haters world, man. We're gonna use this clip from the haters world, and the haters world posted this, and Lucky said he would have gave Sporty a head up fade. Now keep in mind, I'm not instigating a fight between Sporty and Lucky. Hopefully this blows over. We said what we had to say. He said what he had to say. But for the sake of the conversation and for the content, this is what Lucky said about catching that fade with Sporty Face. Shout out to the hater world for finding the clip, and we're gonna break it down. We're gonna break everything down from here.
Salute to everybody that's here. You already know. Look, before the video, I want to make this clear because I've been reading this a lot in the comments. People saying that I don't like Lucky, or that I got a problem with him, or that all I do is talk about him, blah blah blah. Let me make this clear. YouTube is a business. Everybody on YouTube to make money, and Lucky a trending topic, Spotty Face a trending topic. So I'm not choosing to make videos solely on these characters. They are in the news today, yesterday.
Shout out to my girl Erica for that 15 on the Cash App. I appreciate you, baby.
Last week. Next week, they'll be forgotten, and we'll be speaking about someone new. That's the way it works. If a certain individual is hot, you got to jump on the trending news to bring it to you guys. Now, if you guys weren't interested, you wouldn't be watching. So don't look at me like the bad guy. Look at yourself. You guys see the title and are like, oh, click. You could easily bypass it, but you don't. So again, it's Lucky this week. Next week, it'll probably be me. It'll probably be, some other guy. And that's the way it works. Okay. On this video in the comments, bro, I will pin the best one and I will respond. With that being said, let's get to the news. It's coming directly from Hot Wheela Media. Salute to that boy. Make sure you guys go over there and hit the subscribe button. Now here it is right here. Let's get to it. It says Lucky from Hood Stocks says he would have gave Spotty Face a fair fade if he pulled up to his pop-up in Whittier. All right.
Why would Sporty Face pull up to your event looking for a fade? That's stupid, because if something goes sideways, Sporty Face is going to be looked at as the instigator, the aggressor. Why? Because you pulled up to somebody else's event looking for problems. So, and then on top of that, if you pull up to somebody's event, they have home court advantage, because I'm pretty sure you got homeboys up there that's strapped, ready to take care of business, and rightfully so. If I got an event, of course my homeboys are going to be strapped. It's my event. We got to protect one another. That just is what it is. So it makes no sense for Sporty to pull up to your event when he said, let's catch a fade in a neutral zone, not your territory, not my territory, not my event, not your event. We're going to agree and pull up to a neutral place, hop in a ring, and do this the legal way. There's no way that I'm pulling up to your event looking for a fade when you got all your homeboys and associates with you. That makes no sense.
Now, Spotty said something if he pulled up to his pop-up. Now, here it is right here. Let's get to it. It says, Lucky from Hood Stocks says he would have gave Spotty Face a fair fade if he pulled up to his pop-up in Whittier. All right? Now, Spotty says something before this, but I'm not going to go dig that up. You guys want to do the news on it, go look for it. Or maybe I would. I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. But let's go ahead and see what Lucky said.
Scared, bro?
Put the volume up real quick.
Here we go right here. Lucky's getting ready to speak on the situation with Sporty Face.
is not in my vocabulary.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
If you're scared, go to church.
Scared of a fight, bro? No, bro. No. Like you gotta understand. I had hundreds of DMs. I had hundreds of people saying they're gonna take my head. I gotta even the playing field. But all the boys knew that if that one individual that called me out on that shit pulled up, I told all my boys that he was gonna get a fair fight, bro. If that brother had the whoop-de-woo, whatever you want to call it, the pull up, I told all my boys that he would get a fair fight. That's on my fucking kids, bro. That I told all my boys that. The big dogs right there, I told them all that. And they said, and some of them said, nah, he don't deserve a fair fight. And I said, he gonna get a fair fight. Straight up. He gonna.
See, some of his homies said Sporty don't deserve a fair fight. See, listen. Let's say Sporty pulls up to that event, right? And Sporty starts whooping the living crap out of Lucky. You think his homeboys just gonna sit there and do nothing? I want to ask you guys a serious question. Let's say Sporty Face pulled up and started beating the living crap out of Lucky at his event. You don't think that Lucky homeboys is gonna jump in and do something? You think they're gonna sit there and let their homeboy just get whooped on at his event? I think's not. They're not going to let their homeboy get boo-bopped and molly-wopped at his own event. Let's use common sense. It would have been stupid for Sporty Face to pull up to Lucky's event looking for problems when Lucky got all his homeboys and associates out there, and I'm pretty sure some of them were strapped. Sporty starts beating the living crap out of Lucky. Do you really think Lucky homeboys are just going to sit there and do nothing? Let's use common sense. Let's use common sense.
There, I told them all that, and they fight. That's on my fucking kids. He was gonna get a fair fight, bro. If that brother had the whoop-de-woo, whatever you want to call it, the pull up, I told all my boys that he would get a fair fight. That's on my fucking kids, bro. That I told all my boys that.
Shout out to Nada for Nada blessed us with another 20 on the super chat. Shout out to Nada with the super. Nah, if Sporty was beating the living crap out of Lucky homeboys were not gonna just sit there. They're not just gonna sit there and do nothing. Now what's gonna happen is people who are not involved are gonna get involved. Somebody's going to prison, somebody's gonna get hurt. So in order to avoid all of that, get in the ring and do it. And I get it. I'm not saying that Lucky needs to catch a fade with Sporty Face. I'm not saying that he's obligated to catch a fade. That's not what I'm saying. But if we're speaking on what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, what made sense was let's get in the ring so that nobody gets involved. Not my homies, not your homies. Nobody goes to jail. Nobody gets jumped. Nobody gets shot. That's the proper way to do things if you want to catch a fade one-on-one, not meeting up at somebody's event when you got all your homeboys and vatos. And if you start losing a fight, somebody's going to jump in. They're not going to sit there and let you get boo-bopped and molly-wopped at your own event. Nah, homeboy.
Boys, that he was going to get a fair fight, bro. If that brother had the whoop-de-woo, whatever you want to call it, the pull up, I told all my boys that he would get a fair fight. That's on my fucking kids, bro. That I told all my boys that. The big dogs right there, I told them all that. And they said, and some of them said, nah, he don't deserve a fair fight. And I said, he gonna get a fair fight. Straight up, he gonna get a fair fight. You know what I mean? He could pull up right now. He gonna get a fair fight. You know what I mean? And it's hard to fight someone when you're hard. I'm an asshole like that, dog. You know what I mean? Like, scared, bro, is not in my vocabulary.
Thank you.
Heart's not really in it. You know what I mean? But I will do it.
You're fighting because you're a racist?
Yeah, like I don't like the
just to prove a point.
I just don't like we let's paint a different scenario, you know what I mean? Like you're the racist.
So my thing is,
but I can be really full-hearted into it, you know what I mean? Like the tables are turned. Oh yeah.
The truth comes out, huh?
Well, no, like, you know, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe I'm not the racist. Maybe you're the racist.
The rapist? What?
The racist.
Oh, I thought you said
No.
Hell no. There's no pedophiles here.
Only bicycle seat sniffers.
That's another penal code.
I'm a nigga too. Thank you, bro. I'm a nigga too. My boy Dog said I'm a nigga too, dog. So, you know what I mean? I don't give a dog, I'm in the club, bro. I'm in the club, bro. You know what I mean? Let me get some of that jungle juice, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. Stop there. Just stop there.
Stop.
Let's see what Hater World had to say. Lucky said it himself. Lucky homeboy said, nah, Sporty Face don't deserve a fair fight. So if they already feel like that in their heart, you think they're going to sit back and let you get boo-bopped and mollywopped at your event? No, they're not going to sit there and watch that happen. Let's use common sense. Sporty would have been a fool to pull up to your event looking for a fair fade. That would have been dumb on Sporty's part. And it wasn't about no street beef. This is not about no gangsterism or street beef. It was all about a one-on-one fade. So this ain't about no smoke or no real street beef. But it would have been dumb for Sporty to pull up to your event looking for a fair fade. That would have been dumb. And Sporty's not that dumb. Sporty had enough common sense to know I'm not going to pull up to this dude event looking for a fair fade, and he got all of his homeboys and associates with him. The moment he starts getting boo-bopped and mollywop, what do you think his homeboys are going to do? They're not going to sit there and do nothing.
Okay. Now, look, I'm not going to give you my thoughts because I know people don't want to hear it. People don't want to hear the comparison because the comparison and the truth hurts. Nobody wants to hear what I got to say. Okay, nobody wants to hear facts from fiction. But we will say this, and let's make this a topic. Would have Lucky gave Spody Face a fair fade? Now, Big Droops is in the building. And Droops, no, we don't do the what ifs. He knows that. He's the one that was over here and he was like, hey, fool, we don't do what ifs, right? So we can't really do ifs. What if Spody Face would have pulled up? What if he got the fade? It don't matter because it's a what if. What if Spody Face pulls up to Hoodstocks right there while they're live? Is he getting the fair fade? It's a what if. We don't know. We're not going to play that game. We can only talk about what went down. All right. And what went down was Spody Face called out Lucky for a one-on-one, and Lucky said, catch me when you catch me. Now, again, I don't want to give you my thoughts because I feel like that's the correct thing to do. If you're a gangster and you got a problem, then come get me because we gangsters and we playing the gangster game.
This is why I disagree, Blueface. Sporty Face didn't want to harm him outside of a fade. This is not about gangsterism. This was about a man on man catching a fade. It had nothing to do with street beef. It had nothing to do with disliking somebody or pulling up. He said, you disrespected my people. I challenge you to a one-on-one fade. That's all it was. Sporty didn't want to get weapons involved. Sporty didn't want to get homeboys involved. It was all about a one-on-one fade. This was not a street beef, Blue Devil. So you're trying to make it seem like, well, if you got beef, come get me. I'm not going to come looking for you. It's not that serious. It's not that serious for me to come looking for you. I challenge you to a one-on-one fade. Let's get in the ring so that nobody gets hurt and nobody goes to jail. Let's do this in the ring like men. This is not about no street beef. It was not about no street beef. It's not about you going to be the gingerbread man and I'm going to catch you when I can. It was not about that. It was about mano y mano, one-on-one, two men catching a fade in the ring, and they were going to leave it at that. And both parties could have got paid or whatever. Whether you're going to do it for charity, whether you're going to do it for, to get paid, that's all it was. But it's not about no street beef. That's why Sporty Face clearly stated that, hey, this is not about gangs. This is not about my homeboys or your homeboys. We can get in the ring and do this the legal way. And nobody ain't got to get involved. Nobody got to get involved. That's why I disagree with you, Blue Devil.
I want to give you my thoughts because I feel like that's the correct thing to do. If you're a gangster and you got a problem, then come get me because we gangsters and we playing the gangster game. We play.
And Sporty Face, listen, Sporty Face just got out of prison. Why would Sporty Face just got out of prison? Why would he pull up to somebody's event looking for problems and that could land him back in prison? That doesn't make sense. So the smart thing for Sporty Face to do is, okay, I think Sporty Face might be on parole. Who knows? Probation or something. So it would be stupid for him to pull up to an event looking for a fade at somebody else's event to avoid jail, to avoid people getting hurt who ain't got nothing to do with it. The smart thing to do is let's get in the ring and do this the legal way. I don't want to hurt you in the streets, and I'm not going to come looking for you. It's not that serious. It's all about a fade, and we're gonna do it in the ring, and we're gonna squash everything after that. That is how men take care of business. That is how men settle business. Not about no gangsterism, not about no tough street talk, not about I'm gonna do this to you when I catch you. It wasn't even about none of that.
Playing the game of the streets. You know, in the game of the streets is you my enemy. And if you my enemy, you want to kill me. And if you want to kill me, I ain't going to make it easy for you, bro. So come handle your business. Now, to the kids on the internet, the little kids from like today, they think that meeting up is cool. They think meeting up is gangsta. Well, you must have never been in no real life situations if you think meeting up is the shit, bro, because you go meet up with somebody and you think you're going to get a one-on-one and you pull up solo and then all of a sudden you got 30 dudes jumping you, or somebody ups the blicky on you, or now somebody pulls out the knife on you and now you dead. You know, remember, to other kids that are watching, when somebody wants to fight you, that's your enemy, which means they don't like you, which means they want to wipe you off the earth. And the name of the game is to survive and be alive. You know, so you got to play the game to the best of your abilities. Now, if you walking down the street, right? If you walking down the street and you see a guy that don't like you, say Spody Face is walking, Lucky's walking, and they're both coming out of Kmart. Bam, right? Cool. You enemy, right? And he's continuing, bro.
Sporty Face didn't want to harm Lucky. He just wanted to get in the ring with him. Sporty Face don't want no street beef with Lucky. It's not no problem like I want to do something to you when I see you. It is not that serious. It's not that serious, bro. He said we can get in the ring and that's it. It's not going to go no further than us getting in the ring. I don't want to harm you in the streets. I don't want to come looking for you. It's not that serious. Let's catch a fade and get in the ring and we'll leave it at that. That's exactly what Sporty Face said. None of this was about street beef. It was not about no damn street beef.
Oh, he's continuing. Let's watch this one last time, and then we'll end.
If you're scared, go to church.
Scared of a fight, bro? No, bro. No. Like you gotta understand. I had hundreds of DMs. I had hundreds of people saying they're gonna take my head. I gotta even the playing field. But all the boys knew that if that one individual that called me out on that shit pulled up, I told all my boys that he was gonna get a fair fight, bro. If that brother had the whoop-de-whoop, whatever you want to call it, the pull up, I told all my boys that he would get a fair fight. That's on my fucking kids, bro. That I told all my boys that. The big dogs right there, I told them all that. And they said, and some of them said, nah, he don't deserve a fair fight. And I said, he gonna get a fair fight. Straight up, he gonna get a fair fight. You know what I mean? He could pull up right now. He gonna get a fair fight. You know what I mean? And it's hard to fight someone when you're hard.
Again, what ifs? Okay, what ifs? Let's go.
Really in it, you know what I mean? But I will do it.
You're fighting because you're a racist.
I don't like the
just to prove a point.
I just don't like we let's paint a different scenario. You know what I mean? Like you're the racist.
So my thing is,
but I can be really full-hearted into it. You know what I mean? Like all right, the tables are turned. Oh yeah.
I will say and give them a compliment is I like their new setup. I like how they're able to put a 3-camera split like that. I had that in the other room, but I think I'm going to go back to it. That's dope, bro. But the reason he could do that, and I haven't got down to doing that on the 200 boys, is because he has that fool with the little Hitler mustache back there. He's working the keyboards. Over here is on me, fool, so I got to constantly get up. But, he upgraded his setup, and you got to congratulate him on that. Oh, wait. It's not you too.
Dude comes out, huh?
Well, no, like, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe I'm not the racist. Maybe you're the racist.
The rapist? What?
The racist.
Oh, I thought you said
No.
Hell no. There's no pedophiles here.
Only bicycle seat sniffers.
That's another penal code.
But I will tell you, they need some young faces, bro, because everybody over there old as shit. Hey, but that's who they cater to, bro. Fuck it.
I'm a nigga too. Thank you, bro. I'm a nigga too. My boy Charles said I'm a nigga too, dog.
See, things like that, bro, are going to continue to get people pissed off. I get where he's coming from. He's just clowning, but some people don't like. We've already realized that the black community don't like it, bro. Why continue? But hey, to each their own. People gonna do what they want to do. It's really how they run their program. You can't tell.
All right, now let's go to the OG. This is the OG Lucky right here. Do you know that Sporty?
Hello and welcome back to the chat.
Now here's the OG, right? Who said Mayata, and he continues to say it. He said blacks were butthurt.
Before I begin, I want to thank all the subscribers. Thank you, each and every one of you, for your support.
We're gonna keep it respectful in the chat, man. We're just making content, right? You know, we're not gonna disrespect nobody, you know, because believe it or not, there's a lot of Chicanos and Mexicanos who rock with me, and they understand what I'm saying, and they keep it respectful. We're gonna keep it respectful with them. You know, you're gonna have people like this who says crazy things, but we're not gonna use racial slurs in the comments. Now we will battle intellectually, but that's as far as it's gonna go. It is what it is. We're gonna use our minds. We're not gonna get caught up in our emotions. We're gonna battle intellectually like grown men. A lot of us already been to prison. A lot of us been to jail. A lot of us come from the streets. We're not trying to go back to prison. That is a major setback, and you don't want to have to look for a major comeback after a major setback. So in order to avoid all of that, let's conduct ourselves like men, and let's have a conversation. Let's dialogue. Anyway, let's get back to the content, though.
Especially during this time, okay, with what's going on, not only with Levi, but what's going on with the internet. I really appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you. And we're still growing in subscribers, by the way, you know, and I really appreciate that. So I already know what would be the advice of my subscribers. And that would be to ignore this guy, Bobby Yeye, right? But it's hard to ignore.
I don't mind people putting their 2 cents in, even if you disagree with me. It's all gravy, even if you disagree with me, man. There's no hate here. You know, I rock with some Chicanos. I know a lot of Mexicanos, right? And you know, so it's never no hate. You know, we create content, we bring in the viewers, and we're responsible, man. You know, I'm an 80s baby. I've been there and done that. I've caught cases, and I don't want to go back to jail. I don't want to go back to a prison cell. I don't want to do any of that. I'm a grown man. I got responsibilities. Now, if you back me in a corner and I got to take care of business, it is what it is. But if I can avoid that, then we're going to avoid that because we're adults. We're grown as men. We're grown-ups with responsibilities. We're not in our teens and 20s anymore where we can just go to jail, and nobody wants to do that anymore. We're grown men with businesses and responsibilities. Now, let's get to this content, though, man. It is what it is.
Like Gorilla Breath, Pumpkinhead, Bato, you know? And part of the reason is because today he made a response video to the video I made. And like I don't know how the blacks get down, but I know we don't get down with attacking people's wives and calling out people's wives, you know, especially the in the manner he did today. I'll go into it a little bit more as we get more into this video. But yeah, he came out with some pretty false stuff. But you know what? I'm still gonna talk like a real man and not like some confused child, you know, who had his favorite binky taken away from him. All right. He mentioned something about, before I get into the family part, he mentioned something about Southsiders, Sureños, that something that he said that he witnessed when he was in wherever the hell he was. I don't know where he was. He probably some aliens picked him up in a spaceship and gave him a dream or something, because I know this didn't happen. he says that our people had this thing in YA or juvenile hall called homie love, and that the homies would go up on each other and say, hey, homie, there's no girls here. How about some homie love? And that meant getting together under the covers. This guy comes out with all kinds of mamadas for the simple reason that there's some hurt feelings. He's devastated because I said the word mayate. He's like, it turned his world upside down. Que gacho. But anyways, okay, we're past. I think we're past enough time.
Well, when you start calling people mayatas and stuff like that, you can't then say, you can't create boundary lines of what people shouldn't say. Now, me, I keep it content. I don't talk about nobody's family. I don't talk about nobody's children's, but everybody ain't me. People do things differently. So if you call somebody a racial slur, then you can't control what they say in response. You're an old man. You should be smart enough to understand that as an OG. So he said that the homie Bobby Yeye was just butthurt in his feelings when he used the word mayata, and that somehow turned Bobby Yeye's whole world upside down. To hear a Mexican say that about a black person, I don't know, man.
For the simple reason that there's some hurt feelings. He's devastated because I said the word mayate. He's like, it turned his world upside down. Que gacho. But anyways, okay, we're past. I think we're past enough time. Anyways, this Joker goes and starts talking about my private part again. You know what I mean? Something that I left alone because I thought mentioning it, just the fact that he mentioned it and my wife would be enough for him to feel ashamed of himself. Because what kind of person does that? And he has a whole bunch of subscribers that are with that shit. So it shows you the kind of people that we're dealing with. Okay, so this isn't all the brothers. This isn't to all the blacks. This is to babosos like this guy, who
Now we got 300 plus people watching. We need at least 300 plus likes, man. We should have way more than 200 plus likes. Make sure that you guys get the likes up. We want more people to get this in the algorithm. So in order for the algorithm to send this out to more people, we need everybody to bless that like button. Now, at least he said this is not to all black people, because guess what? You got into it with one black person and he said something about you. You said some things about him. Leave it at that. Because I never said anything about your family, and other black people, they're not saying anything about your family. So we're gonna leave it at that. Now, whatever you got going on with the homie Bobby Yeye, Imperial Vision, that's between you and him. You said something about him. Maybe he said something about you that was personal. I don't know.
Can't seem to keep himself composed when having a discussion or talking about something. Now, and that's a sign of lack of manlyhood, and immaturity. But anyways, let me go on with what I have to say. He started this rant about how he wanted aroma. He wanted to do aroma like candles and bubble bath and all this shit to my wife. Dude, I'm not going to ask her, but I'm sure my wife ain't going to play in the mud. And you're like a big old bucket of mud, like a, big old glob of mud. That's all you are, with some lips. You're garbage. Where's your wife at? How come you don't have a wife? Her and your children obviously must have took flight on you, because you mentioned them. But where's your wife at, or your girlfriend? Obviously, you don't have either, or you wouldn't have talked the way you talked on your podcast. You wouldn't have disrespected them that way, unless you're just disrespectful to all women. You know, I don't have to answer about my wife or about myself. There's nothing wrong with me. If ever you hear some banging on the door, it sounds like the cops are hitting the door with their flashlights. It's gonna be me knocking on your door with my chorra. Okay. Don't come running to the door either, because we ain't gonna go there. Because I know you like to talk a lot about men putting their parts in people's mouths and in their backside
Oh man.
and all that stuff. Because you do it to your own people, when you're butthurt or when you're mad, you know. Like I mentioned, you call your people Sambo and Coons, not just 16 to life. You called him nigger 3 times, but not just 16 to life. Other ones, you're just so consumed with racism. All your videos are about racism, you know. The road ain't walking around on that trip. Only you are, you know. But it shows what type of character you are, and
Come on, Lucky. Oh man, let's finish hearing what Lucky had to say.
character of your subscribers, man, to come out and say all the things you did about my wife. That user forbade, and all, man.
He said, "Come on, Bobby, I'm gonna be knocking at your door. If you hear like something like the police at your door, it's gonna be me with my chorro. I'm gonna be knocking at your door with my chorro, vato." Come on, Lucky. Hey, man, it's good, man. Keep the content coming, Lucky.
Why would I use it for bait? You already told everybody, the feds, the police, everybody, that you have to watch out for me, that I'm going to get you for sure, and all this other madness. You know they're listening. Why you say all that stuff? So that if by accident you fall off the edge of the earth, that they come looking for me? Man, I ain't got enough years left in my life to worry about you. I'm worried about my kids, about my family. That's what you should worry about, you know. I'm going to keep this video short, but I had to answer it because you spoke on not only my family, but a group of people that I have respect for, you know. And
now, I don't know. You saying that he spoke on your family? I can't speak on that, man, because that's between you and the homie Bobby Yeye. Let's keep it on. Let's just. It's content, man. So we're gonna just keep it as content. I don't need to spill over into the streets. Like I said, Lucky is old enough to be my grandfather, so I don't wish no harm on anybody. And I say this sincerely, right? I use this for content. I use this to create dialogue and conversation, but we're not gonna take it any further than that. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna get hurt. Nobody's gonna harm each other. Nobody's gonna harm somebody over words on the internet. Now, if you say something that's out of line, we'll critique it, we'll break it down, we'll battle intellectually. We could have a conversation about it and dead the issue on social media like grown men. Do you guys know, like, if people start losing their lives over this podcast stuff, it's going to ruin podcasts. They're going to start policing our language more. They're going to shut this down. And guess what? We're not going to be able to make no money we're not going to be able to make money because of all these emotional guys that are gangbangers who decided to become podcasters. When I said that gangbangers are messing up the podcast world, they are. Because let's say people lose their lives over this, they're going to shut podcasting down. And guess what? You gangbangers will be to blame for ruining podcasting. Keep gangbanging in the streets, man. Keep it in the streets. Stop getting emotional to the point to where you want to do something to somebody over a YouTube video. You gangbangers are destroying podcasting. Keep gang politics in the streets. Keep gang politics in prison. Stop bringing gang politics to the internet. Talking about who you gonna pull up on. Talking about who you gonna, come on, man. When DC Baby Draco said that gangbangers are ruining podcasts and they're destroying the podcast lane, they really are. Because if people start getting hurt over this podcast, and what do you think is going to happen? They're going to shut everything down and nobody's going to be able to make money because of you emotional gangbangers, because of you emotional gang members.
There's no reason for you to bring them into none of this. This is something that I said. Why are you talking about these people? You that much hate in you? That much racism in you, Bobby? You're a sick motherfucker, man. You know? But like I told you, like I told everybody, you ever see me, you feel froggish, jump. You know?
Nah, we don't want that, OG. Let me say this to you, OG. We don't want none of that, man. You know, none of my people want to do anything to you, man. Make your content and get your money, OG. This is not about doing harm to one another. We're podcasters. We're entertainers. A lot of us been in jail. We've been in prison. A lot of us been in the streets. There's no need to bring the street beef to the internet. Let's use these platforms to get money so that we can feed our family and take care of our responsibilities. There's no need to meet up and do something to somebody over a YouTube video. That is childish. That is petty. Things like that. If we think like that, that's going to destroy podcasting. Then nobody's going to be able to make money. Why? Because of emotional gangbangers bringing gang politics to podcasting. We don't need none of that. We don't need none of that. We've been there and done that already, especially in the streets of Los Angeles. We're not trying to move backwards. We're trying to move forward. So ain't nobody's going to pull up and do harm to nobody. Let's get our money. Let's create content. Let's show these people that we're actually intelligent and not a bunch of low IQ, emotional buffoons who operate and think like women because we can't control our emotions.
I don't know what this other guy is, the other one that was talking about me and Sonny. Oh, you could be my grandpa. I wouldn't do that, this and that. Well, don't do it then. You know?
He was talking about me. He said the other guy that was talking about you and Sonny. No, you old enough. And even if you was younger, man, listen, man, I'm not so emotional to where I'm going to crash out over something you said on YouTube. I'll address the disrespect and we'll leave it at that. But there's no need to pull up on somebody over a YouTube video. If people start getting unalive over YouTube videos, what do you think is going to happen to podcasts? And they're going to shut everything down because of emotional gangbangers. All it takes is a few people to get hurt over these podcasts, and they're going to shut everything down. Come on, people, use common sense. A lot of you gang members, you get out of prison and you create YouTube videos, you create a YouTube channel, and you talk about prison stories, and you're able to feed your family as a result of that. If you continue to bring this ignorance to the internet, then they're going to shut everything down, and you gangbangers will be too. Anyway, I think you get my point.
I wouldn't be too worried about it. I think his name's New King something, or I don't know what. You and the Bobby, you had to go and tell the Fed, me and Sonny, oh, you could be my grandpa. I wouldn't do that, this and that. Well, don't do it then. You know, I wouldn't be too worried about it. I think his name's New King something, or I don't know what. You, on the other hand, Bobby, you had to go and tell the feds that, and your people are famous for it, you know, telling, and you guys are the ones that can tell. You guys are always telling.
So now he said blacks can always tell. Let me tell you something, man. You got snitches in every race and every group. There's a lot of Mexican mafia members who became dropouts who snitched. There's guys who was associated and affiliated with the Aryan Brotherhood who became snitches. There's guys who are Crips and Bloods or whatever who became snitches. Anytime you have crime or criminal organization, you're going to have snitches. Snitching comes with the territory when it comes to criminality and criminal activity. Snitching comes with the territory. Let's say a guy is 40 years old and he got children, he got a wife and family, and he's looking at 50 years, and they tell him, give us some information, you can come home in 3 years. You don't think that he's going to snitch? You don't think that he's going to tell? Who wants to be locked up with a bunch of angry men all day? Now, I'm not justifying snitching. I'm just real enough to be honest about this. A lot of guys are gonna snitch. If you're 40 years old and you got a family, you got children, he don't want to do 50 in the penitentiary. He want to go back home to his family. So if you put guys in a bad situation, he's already 40 years old and he's looking at 50 in the penitentiary, they're gonna tell. They're gonna tell to get out of jail. That is common sense. You guys are crazy if you think people man, listen, you might have some people who do it, but the majority of these guys are not going to live by the don't snitch code. Not if they're looking at 50 in the penitentiary and he's already in his 30s and 40s. They're not going to. Nah, bro. They're going to tell to get out of jail. I don't care what race they are. But this dude tried to say, oh, man, you blacks are known for telling. You can tell. You can. Man, have you seen all the Southsider and Northsider dropouts? And this ain't no shot at the Mexicans, but guess what? You guys have strict rules in prison, and a lot of guys don't want to live by those rules. Why do you think Mexicans have the biggest gangs on the PC yards? Why do you think that the Southsiders, Mexicans in general, Mexicans have the biggest gangs on those PC yards, these S and Y yards, right? Because a lot of Mexicans don't want to live and abide by those Southsider Serrano programs. They don't want to fall under that structure no more. This is why there's so many dropouts in the Mexican community. They don't want to operate under that dictatorship no more. That is a thing of the past. As time goes on, you're going to have less essays, less Mexicans becoming Southsiders. Because they don't want to go to prison, and they don't want to go to prison to fall under that structure. So as the years go by, you're going to have more and more Mexican gang members that are dropping out. They don't want to fall under that dictatorship. They don't want somebody in prison dictating their program, telling them that you must give me a percentage of your package or whatever you got going on. They're sick of that. They don't want to fall under that dictatorship. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Mexicans have the biggest dropout gangs on these PC SNY yards, and I think we know why. So to make it seem like blacks are the only ones that are snitching, man, you crazy.
Each other, man. You could be my grandpa. I wouldn't do that. This and that. Well, don't do it then. You know.
Nobody listen. The youngsters don't want to fall under that dictatorship. They don't want that. I don't want some 60-year-old man in prison dictating my program, telling me that I got to give him a percentage of the money that I make in prison. Nobody wants to be extorted. Nobody wants to fall under that dictatorship. So I said it before. Hey, homie, there's snitches in every group. I know a lot of blacks that are snitches. I met snitches from every race. If you're looking at 50 in the penitentiary and he's 40 and he already has a family, they're gonna tell to get out of jail. The G code doesn't exist. If you put 20 guys in prison with a 50-year sentence, 70% of them, or maybe even 85 to 90% of these guys are going to tell. Let me say it again for you people who are too slow. If you lock up, let's say you lock up 50 guys, I'm going to say 50 guys, 10 blacks, 10 Mexicans, 10 white people, and a sprinkle of others. And everybody's looking at 50 in the penitentiary, and they tell everybody, if you tell, you can get out of jail in 2 to 3 years instead of doing 50. You don't think that these guys are going to tell, especially if they got a family, they got a wife at home. You want to get back to that punani. You want to get back to the money. You want to get back to your family. Who wants to do 50 in the penitentiary with a bunch of angry grown-ass men, where you got to deal with violence and see musty-ass men hop in the shower all day, and there's no women? You got to wake up to angry, musty-ass men every day. They're going to tell to get out of jail. That's the unfortunate reality. Nobody's going to do 50 in the penitentiary. People are not signing up to do that no more. You're crazy if you think everybody's going to stick to the G code. If you put 50 guys in the penitentiary from different races 85 to 90% of them will tell to get up out of jail. That's the reality that a lot of you guys don't want to deal with. Get a trade, get a job skill, provide for your family so that you can stay up out of the penitentiary. That ain't no place for a man to be.
Wouldn't be too worried about it. I think don't do it then. You know, I wouldn't be too worried about it. I think his name's New King something, or I don't know what. You, on the other hand, Bobby, you had to go and tell the feds that, and your people are famous for it, you know, telling, and you guys are the ones that can tell. You guys are always telling on each other, man. You know, not as much now, but before, man, you guys couldn't stop it. So, you know, knock all your shenanigans and your bullshit off. We know you got butt hurt. You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got butt hurt. Sorry your feelings were hurt, mijo. You know, but yeah, talking about a wife, a cheating wife, and me that my shit's just fucking flopping between my. You know what? You're stupid, man. You talking about my bedroom? That in my bedroom, this and that. You never been in my bedroom. You don't even know me. We don't even know each other. You're talking about drinking Viagra and Cialis kiss or some shit.
There's nothing wrong with popping a Viagra at 60 years old, Lucky. I mean, I'm not in your business. I could care less about what goes on in your bedroom, dog. But I'm just saying, at 60, you're gonna pop a Viagra or something to get it up to clap them cheeks. I get it, man.
Dude, you don't even know me. You don't know nothing about me. And you go and you choose that to make up.
But then he said that blacks are snitching and they could snitch. Do you know how many Southsiders have debriefed and went to PC and went to the SNY yard? And that ain't no knock on them, because I understand why they don't want to fall under that structure and dictatorship. I understand that. Not that I condone snitching, but I understand why the young Mexicans don't want to fall under those politics. This is why Mexicans have the biggest gangs on those SNY yards. They don't want to deal with those strict politics.
An attack. He should have attacked me. I had something to say. He should have said it to me. But check this out. Anything that you blab on from this point on, I'm just, when I see your video, Blink, I'm just gonna fucking delete that shit, you know, because it's not worthy of my time. It's always boo boo. It's always bullshit. It's always some racist shit, you know. If you're not talking about the Mexicans race as a racist, you're talking to the blacks like a racist, you know, black on black. This girl in court called the mayor a nigger. Come on, dude. You guys are racist against each other, man.
He can't help but to use those words. He loved using those N words with the hard ER and mayatas. Come on, Lucky, man. It is what it is, man. Listen, man, I don't get butt hurt over things that people say on the internet, but I will use it for content.
You know, why don't you practice that and worry about that before you worried about a word that I said. One fucking word. But like I said, you know, Spencer, I'm not.
Well, you can't dictate to how people respond. If you're using racial slurs, then you can't control how people respond to you. You can't say that mayata is just a word and nobody should feel a certain way about it. I mean, come on, bro. You're 60 years old. You should have more common sense than that. If I call somebody a racial slur, I can't dictate how they're going to respond. How they respond is how they respond. I have no control over that. So if you call somebody a racial slur, you cannot police how they respond to you. I'm just saying. Everybody should take notes when it comes to that, not just him.
You know, it is what it is, you know? So go ahead and make your little bitch ass videos and make up your little stories like a little faggot queer. It's all good, you know?
See, you're going to get the video demonetized, OG. As a veterano, you should be way more responsible with your words. As a veterano, you should be more responsible with your words, Holmes. Come on, Lucky. Be more responsible with your language, big dog.
Anybody could get on YouTube. I think you have some type of boy attraction or something. There's something going on with you. Something's going on with you, Bobby, and it'll come out one day, you know. And all this trying to put your cheap dumbass witchcraft on me, talking about, oh, between now and the 17th, something bad's gonna happen to me, and I'm gonna be crying out to the Lord. And this, man, I cry out to the Lord every day. So nothing bad needs to happen to me. Besides, man, your witchcraft went out of your mouth and just hit the floor, dude. That shit don't work on me. So, you know, try something better. Just try not to tell next time. You know, man, that was the most blatant.
We need 300 likes, man. We only got 272 likes. We need well over 300 plus likes for this live stream, man. So support the content. Let's get it in the algorithm. You already know what's up. We in the cut of Luffagus.
Yell for help that I've ever seen a black man do. You know, to literally ask the feds for protection. Oh, this one.
Nah, that's lying. Bobby didn't ask the feds for no protection. Bobby's not worried about you doing anything to him. Just like I'm pretty sure Bobby doesn't want to do anything to you, man. This is just YouTube content. So to make this video saying that Bobby's asking the feds for protection, that is a bold-faced lie. That is a bold-faced lie. And you know it. Nobody's telling, nobody's snitching over YouTube videos. Now, like I said before, if you take 10 black guys, 10 Mexicans, 10 white guys, and 10 and people from other races as others, and they're all facing 50 in the penitentiary, and the feds tell them, if you tell, you can get out of jail in 2 to 3 years. 90% of people are gonna tell. I don't care what race they are. Nobody wants to do life in the penitentiary when they got a woman and a family at home. So my advice to everybody that's in the streets, get a job skill, take a trade, learn how to become a professional, because being in the penitentiary is for the birds. That lifestyle is played out. Let me tell you something about prison and the penitentiary lifestyle. That lifestyle is played out, bro. It's not a good thing to say that you've been to prison. It's not an honorable thing. We're trying to teach the next generation how to do bigger and better things. Get a job skill, become a professional, make money, and take care of your family. Who wants to be in prison with a bunch of angry grown-ass men all day? Hell nah.
Yell for help that I've ever seen a black man do. You know, to literally ask the feds for protection. Oh, this one you got to watch. He's coming for me. I know it. I know he's going to do something. Come on, dude. Knock it off, man. Knock it off. You know, stop your sniveling. Stop your whining. And do some content to edify your people, man. You know, like some of the other content creators, you know. But you just do all hateful shit. You know, because that's you and your blackened heart, you know. Anyways, my video for the day, man. I'm sorry, people. I had to go there. I had to come to the defense of this fool disrespecting me and my wife, you know, especially my wife, you know. Not to mention a whole car of Mexicans, you know. Yeah, Bobby, I think you have problems, big problems. Serio. This is my video, people. Thank you for watching. And, you know, I'm really sorry for going there.
All right, let's go to the guy. I don't know if he's new. His name is called Big Shirt Style. I think he makes a lot of sense, and he speaks against prison life and gangbanging. Let's see what he has to say.
Solution at the end of this video. Unlike most YouTubers, hold on. We got 2 camera angles now. Yeah, we're getting serious. So I'm actually going to provide a solution at the end of this video, how we can combat the hatred that we experience. People want to act all prideful about being Mexican, being Chicano. How can you be proud of hating other people? You're hating people that are in your community. It doesn't make sense, and we're proud of that. Like it's so ridiculous. Little Wolf number 1. If you guys don't know who this is, it's the guy. It's the young man. I'm not going to call him a kid. I'm not going to belittle him, but it's the young man that got famous on TikTok for trying on a pair of 501s. And that is not an exaggeration. I'm being dead serious when I say that. In case you're not familiar with him, his dad, or I'm not sure if it's his father, took a video of him at some mall or something, and his kid came out of the fitting room and he had a pair on 501s. And this kid literally went viral for that. Like I said, I'm not trying to hate. I'm sure if I met this guy, he would probably be a cool ass dude. He definitely makes more money than me. I'm just being honest. From all the content I've seen of him, he's not funny. He's not, well spoken. He's never, said something that really made me think. He's not entertaining. So what is it really? What does it come down to? And I think really what it comes down to, which is what blew him up in the first place, and what also keeps him relevant, is hate. And obviously hate from our own people, from other Chicanos, whatever. Because what ends up happening with a lot of these people, like Jenny69, Little Wolf, Fool Community, Marvelous, Haters World, all these people. Okay, so let's say they make a post. Let's say Little Wolf makes a post, and it reaches a larger demographic that's outside of his following.
Listen, man, there's snitches everywhere, bro. So I'm not going to put snitching on one race. When you look at snitching is at an all-time high, because if you look at the time that they're giving people nowadays, like, I don't care how tough these guys claim to be. When they're looking at 50 in the penitentiary, they're going to tell to get out of jail. You got to be a fool if you think they're not. They're going to tell to get out of jail. I promise you, they're not going to do 50 in the penitentiary just so that they can say, I did it for the hood. I did it for the barrio. Man, please, you crazy. They're going to tell to get out of jail. I don't care what race they are, especially if they're looking at 50 in the penitentiary. You better get with the times or get left behind. You better get with the times or get left behind.
That post will blow up and perform well statistically as far as numbers go, because everyone is going to see this. And I'm letting you know right now, forgot to switch camera angles, and I'm letting you know right now, I disagree with this, but everyone will see this post and instantly hate this kid because number one, he has a big following, he has more money than you, and etc. And he has a cute girlfriend, or probably multiple girlfriends, God knows. And so everyone's going to be like, say whatever, like, oh, this fool doesn't even bang. Oh, he's going to get a rude awakening when his girlfriend leaves him. Oh, this and that. So now the comments are going crazy, right? And then you'll have a bunch of people agreeing with other people in the comment section, hating on him. But all this does is it lets the algorithm know. Let's say it's Instagram, for example. Hey, this post is being highly engaged with. Let's go ahead.
Now, he's being honest, man. He's saying how stupidity is what goes viral on the internet. Like a female who does absolutely nothing but flaunt her sexuality, she goes viral because you got a bunch of thirsty men who engage in the comment section. Now, it's crazy that when we talk about things that actually make sense, you don't get the same engagement as a lot of these ignorant, low vibrational, content gets. You got a ratchet ass. You got females who just get on the internet to show they butt all day, and they bring no value to you. They're just looking for thirsty men that they can use and exploit. And you thirsty men be all in the comment section telling them how beautiful they are, how sexy they are. And these women are bloodsuckers. These women are users. They're losers. So they flaunt their sexuality to get money because that's the easiest thing for them to do. But the problem is this: you got weak ass men that's all in the comment section saying, ooh, baby, ooh, and you're a fan of a female who could care less about you. That's the reason that thoughts and 304s can make a living on the internet. All they got to do is flaunt their sexuality, because you got a bunch of men who are desperate and thirsty who be all in their comment section telling them how beautiful they are. No, don't get it twisted. Some of these women are sexy. We're still men at the end of the day, but at a certain point, man, you got to control your lust. A lot of these thoughts would be forced to get regular jobs if men wasn't so thirsty. There would be no such thing as an Instagram model or no such thing as an OnlyFans chick if men wasn't so thirsty for the box. If men had enough discipline to control their thirst, a lot of these low-life 304s would be forced to get regular jobs. They bring no value to your life. They post videos and they make money because the majority of you men are horny and thirsty. You guys are to blame for why a lot of 304s don't have to get jobs no more. They do absolutely nothing besides flaunt their sexuality. And you thirsty men are the reason that they can make money doing absolutely nothing. You thirsty ass men, you are to blame. Thirsty ass men are to blame for 304 and OnlyFans culture and Instagram models. Blame it on thirsty men. They bring no value. They bring no substance. They flaunt their sexuality because you guys are super thirsty.
And recommend the does is it lets the algorithm know. It lets the algorithm, let's say it's Instagram, for example. Hey, this post is being highly, highly engaged with. Let's go ahead and recommend the post to even more people. And it just continues. But nobody has the balls to say this, that everyone in this community is talentless. You're not talented. I'm not trying to sound like a prick. You're just not. You're famous because you're hated. And I'm sure, yeah, if I went to his Instagram, I mean, we could go to his Instagram right now. So I was able to find his Instagram right here. If we go right here, the picture of him, and he gets all support right here. Good for him. Good for him. This is the one I was talking about. So for example, we take his most viral post that I can see right here, 11.9 million views. That's 11.9 million views. I mean, that's impressive. So it's a video of him and Sad Boy Loco. And they're just taking a video together, and that got 11 million views. And this is what I'm saying. I mean, how did a post like this blow up? I mean, you got to really think. This is why I'm trying to challenge you guys watching. You guys can hate me or love me or say whatever you want. I'm challenging you right now. How did this post get 11 million views on Instagram? It is literally a video of a kid meeting a celebrity. And there's nothing like out of the ordinary happening here. There's nothing really to make it viral. I mean, it's not really interesting. I mean, I've met Sad Boy Loco. I've met all these celebrities in the Chicano community. I never went viral for this. So now it's like, you look at the comments, you really sit and you think, you look at the comments. First comment is, stop trying to be something that you aren't. Okay. I don't know what that means, and I'm not even going to entertain that. Bro, this. Since when Sad Boy had good grades, be talking about it like that. Okay, so this guy's hating on Sad Boy. Him, lol, some more hate. I'm not even gonna... Dude, I don't even want to take it there. I don't even want to take it there. Bro, if I don't make it in the modeling industry, I might... Whole modeling hypocrisy in a future video, especially with my experience with these clothing brands and seeing the type of, surge, not even in just the Chicano community, excuse me, but in general, we've seen on Instagram and every platform a very big... God damn, bro. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to yell that loud. Whatever, this guy's a jackass anyways. A lot of whores, just internet whores, that will make a record whatever and say something stupid, and everyone either hates them or everyone's either horny over them. And so this triggers a lot of engagement on that post.
He's right. you got internet thoughts who say stupid things and they go viral for being stupid. Why? Because you men are thirsty. So you can't have men. It makes no sense for men to complain about thoughts when you men are the enablers of Instagram models and 304 culture. You get females, they get famous for doing, they come to the internet to say stupid stuff. It's not meaningful, it has no substance. All they got to do is show their butt and their breasts, and you niggas are impressed. Hundreds of comments, if not over 1,000 comments in the section, and this female did nothing besides show her butt. And when she opened her mouth, all she said was stupid stuff. She said, thirsty men have made worthless females famous. That's why you got so many Instagram models and OnlyFans chicks, because you thirsty ass men have made nothing as females famous for doing what? Absolutely nothing. Some of these chicks are attractive and some of them are sexy, but they bring no substance, they bring no value. These females are sack chasers. They're using desperate and thirsty men to make money. If men wasn't so thirsty, these females would be forced to get regular jobs. I promise you. I blame thirsty men for the explosion of Instagram models. I blame thirsty men for the explosion of OnlyFans chicks. If we didn't have all these weak, desperate, and thirsty men, these females would be they would be forced to get regular jobs, and they would be a whole lot more humble in real life. They would be way more humble if they couldn't make money just posting their booties and titties and saying stupid stuff on the internet to go viral. I blame you thirsty ass men. These females would be way more humble if it wasn't for thirsty men. They would have way more respect for you because they know they couldn't just flaunt their body and sexuality to get money. They would have to bring substance and value. But when you have thirsty and horny men, then that creates a lane for women who don't respect you, for women who will disrespect you. They have no respect. Matter of fact, they will disrespect you because they don't have to respect you to get money. These females have made a major come up off of thirsty and desperate men. That's why you have OnlyFans models, Instagram models, because of thirsty men. If men had more discipline, then ratchet females couldn't make a living flaunting their body and sexuality on Instagram and OnlyFans. They would be forced to get regular jobs, and they will be way more humble. They would show you way more respect if you guys learn how to keep your thirst in check.
Which is why we have nothing but OnlyFans whores and people like this, no disrespect, like, so this triggers a lot of engagement on that post, which is why we have nothing but OnlyFans whores and people like this, no disrespect, like I said, get your money. People like this and people like rappers that promote nothing but gang violence and prison, living like you're still in prison even though you're not, which is retarded. And that's why that's all we have to look up to, you know. And a lot of this, mind you, I mean, TikTok is controlled by two things: China and the left. TikTok is as far left as you can go, and Chicanos and the Chicano movement has blown up on TikTok more than any other platform, and it's completely shot our attention span alongside with that. Because if you notice, there's no famous Chicano YouTubers. There's just not. Because a lot of us are too stupid to even watch a full video, or too stupid to even watch a video that's actually informative, you know? So just being honest, like, let's just keep it real. And so we've also...
Men are to blame why we have all these Instagram models and OnlyFans chicks. They bring no substance. All they do is flaunt their sexuality. You're creating the arrogant, disrespectful female. As long as she can post videos and make money because of thirsty men, there's no reason to have respect for men in general. If men wasn't so thirsty, she would be forced to have more respect for men. She would be forced to get a regular job, and she would be way more humble. But in reality, you guys are thirsty, She can come to social media and make money because of you thirsty and desperate men, which makes her lose respect for men in general. She'll take the compliments, she'll get the money, but she lose respect for men in general because she can disrespect you while making money at the same time. That's a fact. I blame you men for the Instagram models, for the OnlyFans chicks, because of thirsty men. If you removed all these thirsty men in society, these females will be way more humble. They would have way more respect for men. They will be forced to get regular jobs, and they will be way more humble when it comes to their interactions with men. I'm giving you the game. King Supreme delivering the game, but I don't think you guys understand. Stop complaining about 304s and Instagram models when you guys are clearly the enablers of their behavior. You guys are clearly the enablers of their behavior. Soon as a female posts a video showing her butt, there's a million thirsty guys in the comment section. So once she sees all the engagement she gets in the comment section, guess what? She's going to make more videos like that because of the engagement. And now she's making money off of your lust. Now she is now making money off of your thirst. Weak ass men, desperate and thirsty men, desperate men are to blame for the Instagram model explosion, for the OnlyFans models, for the OnlyFans chick. You guys are to blame 100%. Clearly, you guys are the enablers of their bad behavior. This is why they don't respect men, because they don't have to. They don't need to respect men to get their money. They don't need to respect men to get attention. And you guys are to blame because you're too damn thirsty. If you don't believe me, watch a video of a female showing her butt and look at all the thirsty men in the comment section. I think I rest my case.
Seen a surge in a lot of news pages and podcasters that have become famous from hating on others, spreading hate, and reporting news, but just stirring beef. And most of the time they just pull it out of thin air. So for example, with Full Community, Haters World, Community and Haters World really just focus on just making that their content, like literally just stirring stuff for views. And they've been successful. They've been successful at it this far. And you know why? Because we, the people, you and me,
we all like sexy women, bro. But it's but we got to stop being enablers of their bad behavior. Right? This is why you guys don't realize the reason why women disrespect you. If they got 100 men thirsting for them, there's no need to respect you. Because in their mind, well, I can just go out and get another simp. There's a guy who will drink my bath water and lick my booty. They know this because of all the thirsty men in their comment section. They bring no value. They bring no substance. All they do is flaunt their sexuality, and that's easy money. I'm not hating. I'm just giving you the facts. Thirsty men are to blame why women don't respect men on the level that they should respect you. You don't make them work to earn anything. You give them the red carpet treatment even when they don't deserve it. And I blame you, thirsty simps. I blame you, desperate and thirsty men. You guys have become the enablers of their bad behavior. They don't need to respect men to get the red card treatment. They can disrespect you and make more money. So can you blame the women, or do you blame the thirsty men who have become the enablers of their bad ratchet behavior? Go look at the comment sections of women who just show their butt and breasts all day. It's a bunch of thirsty men in the comment section. Thousands of them. Oh, you beautiful queen. That broad ain't no queen. She's a ratchet in the 304. Yeah, she might be sexy. She might have a nice body, but that doesn't make her a quality woman. A sexy woman is not necessarily a quality woman. You dig? There's a lot of women who are sexy, but they are not quality women. But a lot of you simps ain't been laced with this game. She ain't even got to work for it. All she got to do is sit up there and twerk for it. Nowadays, women ain't even got to work for it. All she got to do is sit up there and twerk for it to get your money because you are desperate and thirsty.
And me, the consumer, The one watching, the viewers, are too stupid and low IQ and haven't evolved yet to realize, bro, this is so stupid. Why am I even watching this right now? Like, I mean, literally, I went on TikTok and I see a video of some guy. I saw.
Imagine this: women nowadays don't even have to work for it. All they got to do is sit up there and twerk for it because you guys are desperate and thirsty. Desperate and thirsty. Just shake a little bit of booty to get money. Hell no, I ain't gotta work for it. All I gotta do is sit up there and twerk for it, and weak ass men gonna throw money. Exactly. I think I rest my case. You weak ass men are to blame for ratchet and 304 culture. You are to blame for all of these Instagram models who just want to show their booty to make money off of thirsty men. This is why we have so many disrespectful women. I'll just flaunt my body and sexuality to get money. I ain't gotta work for it. All I gotta do is twerk for it.
A video of some dude that had videos of, he had nothing but reels of him being like, did you know that Jenny 6ix9ine? I'm like, bro. And it was like when all that stuff with Jenny 6ix9ine and Lefty Gunplay was going on. I don't know, supposedly they were dating or something. I don't know. And then another perfect example of keeping people relevant off hate is when there was a video of Jenny 6ix9ine and she was sitting on Blueface's lap, and that's somehow controversial. And so you had everyone and their mom posting a story about it, which is the only reason I even caught wind about it. Everyone and their mom was posting on their story, oh my God, she shouldn't have done that. Oh my God. And then there's other people like, oh, why worry about it? Bro. Oh my God, dude. It's like, were you guys seriously holding her to higher standards, like as if she was the goddamn second coming of, I'm not even going to disrespect my God, but we're acting as if she was some type of angel, as if she was going to lead the world to success. I mean, she's literally nothing but a model. Okay, look, she's nothing but an internet whore. She's nothing but an internet whore. And we see a picture of her sitting on some black dude's lap, and we're like, oh my God, oh my God.
He's telling the truth. This dude right here is telling the truth.
The world to success. I mean, she's literally nothing but a model. Okay, look, she's nothing but an internet whore. She's nothing but an internet whore. And we see a picture of her sitting on some black dude's lap, and we're like, oh my God, oh my God. Romans chapter 12, verse 21 says, do not fight evil with evil, but overcome evil with good. You are in control of who becomes famous and who does not. The algorithm and China and these liberals can try to control it as much as they want. But if you don't give into it, like when I scroll on TikTok and I see a video of some girl for FB County going, no llores, vato, don't cry, and that somehow gets that many views, don't buy their clothes. Don't watch the video. Don't like the video. Don't comment on it about how retarded it is, even though you know it is. And that's how we can replace all of these stupid whores that are becoming celebrities in our community and somehow gaining influence. Who the hell? Bro, since when do we look up to OnlyFans whores? Since when are our OnlyFans whores our idols? No wonder our community is so stupid. I mean, we were all raised by single mothers because our dads were in prison. And who do we have to look up to? More single mothers that sell their body online. No wonder we're so low IQ. Would you look at that? We don't have a father figure, but
hey man, this dude is telling the truth. We've made ratchets and 304s Instagram famous, OnlyFans famous, social media famous, all because of desperate and thirsty men. You thirsty men are to blame why so many women are now disrespecting you. They ain't got to work for it. All they got to do is twerk for it. And when they just got to twerk for it, that makes them they lose respect for you, and they begin to disrespect you every chance they get. Thirsty men are to blame for ratchet and 304 culture, 100%. I promise you. If these females had to get a regular job and they couldn't hop on social media to get all these fans, they would be way more humble in real life. And they wouldn't be so disrespectful. They would be way more humble. Shout out to this guy right here because he's giving you the irrefutable facts. He's giving you the irrefutable facts. Thirsty men have made internet thoughts famous. We've made internet thoughts famous because you got thirsty ass men to blame for it. And they do absolutely nothing. They bring no substance or no value to your life. They use their sexuality to get your money. These are desperate females. Think about it like this. Who's more thirsty, the female who shows her breasts and booty because she's starving for attention, or the men, or the thousands of men who get in the comment section and tell her how beautiful she is, and you're just catering to her ego? But the female can't call the men thirsty because guess what? She's thirsty as well. Yes, these guys are thirsty. There's no denying that. But when you're taking off your clothes, showing your breasts and your butt, clearly you are thirsty for attention. So you a thirsty ass woman who's looking for attention from thirsty men. You're seeking attention from thirsty, desperate men. You a thirsty, desperate woman who's good at gaining the attention of thirsty and desperate men. So you got thirsty men and a thirsty woman. That's exactly what it is. Let me say this, if you remove the customer, and who are the customers? The thirsty and desperate men. If you remove the customers, these females will be a whole lot they will be way more humble. They will be forced to respect you. But when they can come on social media and make a ton of money from thirsty men, they lose respect for men in general. Now you've created a whole new generation of desperate and thirsty women who are going to disrespect you every chance you get. You thirsty ass men created this 304 culture. You thirsty ass men has created this Instagram model culture. They don't have to respect you to get money. So why do they need to respect you when they can make money disrespecting you? You thirsty ass men are to blame for this Instagram model and OnlyFans culture. If you remove all these thirsty men right now, all these females will be in pocket. They will be forced to respect you. If you removed all these thirsty ass men, all these thirsty ass simps in their comment section, telling them they're beautiful every 5 to 10 seconds. Remove all the thirsty men. I bet money these women get right back in pocket tomorrow. They will be forced to get regular jobs. They will be way more humble. So I blame you thirsty men for this 304 and Instagram culture. They can make money doing absolutely nothing besides flaunting their sexuality. I blame you thirsty ass desperate men.
And that's how we can replace these stupid whores that are becoming celebrities in our community and somehow gaining influence. Who the hell? Bro, since when do we look up to OnlyFans whores? Since when are our OnlyFans whores our idols? No wonder our community is so stupid. I mean, we were all raised by single mothers because our dads were in prison. And who do we have to look up to? More single mothers that sell their body online. No wonder we're so low IQ. Would you look at...
It's all good, Bam Bam. Bam Bam has kept it respectful. Bam Bam ain't disrespecting nobody. Shout out to Bam Bam. It's all good, bro. We from the same part of Los Angeles, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But shout out to Bam Bam in the comments. You know, he ain't being disrespectful. He's been respectful ever since he been here. So it's all good, bro.
OnlyFans whores are idols. No wonder our community is so stupid. I mean, we were all raised by single mothers because our dads were in prison. And who do we have to look up to? More single mothers that sell their body online. No wonder we're so low IQ. Would you look at that? We don't have a father figure, but you know who we do have to look up to? Lefty Gunplay and all these other rappers that promote being in a gang, going to prison, and doing burpees. Like,
hey, shout out to him.
No wonder we're so low IQ. Would you look at that? We don't have a father figure, but you know who we do have to look up to? Lefty Gunplay and all these other rappers that promote being in a gang, going to prison, and doing burpees. Like, and eating spreads too. Don't forget about that part. Idolize God, number one.
Hey man, that goes for the black and brown community. That ain't listen, man. That what he said applies to the black and brown community. We're so thirsty, and we promote prison and gang life about a bunch of idiots doing burpees in prison. That's for the black and brown community. I promise you. We promote the stupidest stuff on the internet, and you wonder why idiots go viral, and you wonder why Instagram sluts and thoughts become famous because of thirsty ass men. Hey man, hey homie, this guy he gave you the irrefutable facts. Thirsty ass men are to blame why we have Instagram whores who are famous now. OnlyFans chicks who are famous for doing absolutely nothing besides flaunting their sexuality. I blame thirsty ass men. We are the reason, and I'm not gonna say we because I don't be in all these comment sections telling these old thoughts how beautiful they are. Even if they are sexy, I'm not hopping in their comment section and telling them how beautiful they are. These females got thousands of fans. Do you think they're worried about you? Listen, when you become a fan of a woman, she's gonna treat you like a fan. She's gonna treat you like a simp. She's gonna treat you like you're beneath her because you became a fan. We have made Instagram thoughts famous. We have made Instagram thoughts celebrities, and they do absolutely nothing. Who do I blame? Thirsty ass men.
And listen to your mother and father. I mean, we were all raised by single mothers because our dads were in prison. And who do we have to look up to? More single mothers that sell their body online. No wonder we're so IQ. Would you look at that? We don't have a father figure, but you know who we do have to look up to? Lefty Gunplay and all these other rappers that promote being in a gang, going to prison, and doing burpees. Like, and eating spreads too. Don't forget about that part. Idolize God, number one, and listen to your mother. My father was incarcerated most of my life. My mom's been deceased for years now. Today's her birthday, as a matter of fact. But look at me. I almost ended up as stupid as the rest of us, but I didn't. And here I am pointing it out to you to pass on the word, the good news. Mexicans and Hispanics are the only race that I know of that support pedophilia. And that's not an exaggeration. This is a serious issue. Prime example number one is SPM, and he is in prison right now for sexually assaulting a 9-year-old girl. And you will find that.
And I used to listen to SPM back in the early 2000s. Dope House Records, South Park Mexican. He was one of the dopest. Like, he was ahead of the game. Now his charges are sick. I didn't know nothing about his charge. It is sick. But as far as his skills on the microphone, I believe SPM was ahead of the game when it comes to Mexican rappers. You know, he made that song, "Run away, run for your life, run away." Yeah, he's from Houston, H-Town. SPM was one of the dopest. I would say he was the dopest Mexican rapper. I bought an SPM record back in the day, Dope House Records. He had the chopped and screwed, the chopped and screwed song, because H-Town, Texas, with DJ Screw and all them with the chopped and screwed records. SPM was ahead of the game when it comes to Mexican rappers. You know, that's just a known fact. You know, I got to keep it a stat. Now, when I found out what he went to prison for, I was very disappointed about that. I'm like, damn, man, say it ain't so, say it ain't true. But then people say, nah, Red, it is true. I said, man.
Half of the Mexican community still support him and listen to his music. Example number two, we have Marvel.
SPM was way better than Kid Frost. I ain't gonna lie. SPM is like, if not the dopest Mexican Chicano rapper. You know, he went to prison for some chomo charges, which was just crazy. The man threw his whole career away. He had Dope House Records back in the early 2000s. And you had black people actually bumping that. My homeboy had the record. I had the record. That was the only Mexican rapper that I would bump and listen to. This was South Park Mexican, SPM, Dope House Records, Houston, Texas. Yeah.
Listening, who got a 17-year-old pregnant. One of the reasons why I've been more motivated to make this video was the fact that I've been hearing a lot of stories online and like in person, people I've met saying so-and-so touched me and he's still allowed to, you know, like he's still allowed to be around the family. And then I also have been hearing a lot of people online saying, oh yeah, my
and Hefe, well, and Hefe is just a content creator, you know. I ain't got nothing bad to say against Zan Hefe. It is what it is.
grandparents, my grandma was 14, and when my grandpa met her, he was 40. So my thing is, not only is it happening on a smaller scale, like with our families, but also happening to our celebrities. And when a celebrity gets exposed for it, you'll notice that half the Mexican community will still continue to support them, and half the Mexican community will stop supporting them. So for those,
well, it ain't just the Mexican community. Like when you think about R. Kelly, you think about Diddy. Half of the black community rock with Diddy, half of the black community don't rock with Diddy. So that ain't just the Mexican community, it's just our community as black and brown people in general. You know, some of us will say, oh, I'm not rocking with that, but some people will say, oh no, man, you know, like you got people who make excuses for R. Kelly, you got people who make excuses for Diddy. Now, I do believe that they made up a lot of stuff on Diddy, but at the same time, Diddy is guilty for some of that stuff. Now, anytime you're guilty and you got money, you're going to have people coming out of the woodworks to make up all type of things. True indeed. I don't believe that Diddy is guilty of everything that they're accusing him of, but he is guilty of a lot of that stuff at the same time. So half of the black community don't rock with him. Half of the black community still rocks with him. See, this is what I'm going to say. Once you get celebrity status and you got money, you're going to have people that rock with you regardless of what you do. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
those of you who are not familiar with a rapper named South Park Mexican, aka SPM, his real name is Carlos Coy. He's currently in prison.
I'm not a supporter of the crime that he committed. I used to listen to SPM before he went to jail, before he caught those charges. I used to listen to his music because he was one of the dopest, if not the dopest, Chicano rapper. The guy had swag. The guy had style. He had black people on his label. So he was ahead of the game when it comes to Mexican rappers. I'm not a supporter of what he went to jail for. I rocked with him before he went to prison and caught those charges. I'm just being honest.
Serving a 45-year sentence, and he was sentenced in 2002. He is in prison for the aggravated sexual assault of a 9-year-old girl. And to this day, you will find in 2025, you will still find people supporting him, saying that there's no proof of what he did and that he should be freed. There is people right now saying that SPM should be freed. If you don't believe me, go to my last video. I pinned the comment. There is a person that he didn't say he should be freed, but he said, "Oh, I love the video, bro, but I refuse to hear anything bad about us."
No, what I'm saying is you got people who still rock with Diddy. There's a lot of black people who don't rock with Diddy, but then you still got a lot of black people who do. Just like he said, you got a lot of Mexicans who rock with SPM and you got a lot of Mexicans who don't. That's the point that I was making.
SPM. And ever since I was in high school, I used to hear that. I used to hear people post, well, I used to see people post on Instagram like free SPM, he did nothing wrong, and there's no proof. What's even more sad though is the fact that we have influencers and people in positions of leadership in our community, like rappers, influencers, that you'll see them listening to his music. And that's not okay, bro. That's not okay, because it lets more people know like, oh, it's okay to listen to his music, even knowing what he did. And that's not cool. And now moving on to the second person I mentioned, which is Marvelous Inc. And Marvelous Inc.
Marvelous Inc. pulled up to the Viral Way podcast. I told you, Marvelous Inc. is a 43-year-old man, maybe even 44 now. He did a tattoo for a female. She was 16. Marvelous Inc. smashed her. He hit it raw. He impregnated her. But he made an excuse for it. And what was his excuse? He said she gave him a fake ID and he didn't know that she was 16 because she had a fake ID. So after he gave her a tattoo, she had sex with her. Come to find out she was only 16 and he impregnated her. You know Marvelous Inc. who pulled up to the Viral Way podcast to debate them over this African booty scratcher comment? That guy.
And that's not cool. And now moving on to the second person I mentioned is Marvelous Inc. And I have spoken to Marvelous Inc. A couple times, so I'm not going to like.
Yeah, Diddy didn't touch a child. Like Diddy just did a whole lot of perverted things, but he didn't touch a child though. You know, I think Diddy was dealing with willing participants, and there's a lot of trumped up charges. So that's what it is with Diddy. But Diddy doesn't have chomo charges, right? So yeah, that is a fact.
Like, I'm not going to really attack him personally. I don't want any problems with him. I'm not here to start any issues. So at the beginning of this year in 2025, we found out, the public, our community found out that Marvelous ended up getting a 17-year-old girl pregnant. We hear that story, right? So we're like, okay, yeah, this guy's sick. What's wrong with him? How could he do that? But then Marvelous comes out and says, okay, this is what he says, right? Yeah, she was 17, but she told me she was 20. And she had a fake ID saying she was 20. We can all sit here and speculate and say, well, that story doesn't add up, and who gets a fake ID to be 20? That doesn't really make sense. Usually when you buy a fake ID, it's to be 21 because obviously the legal age of drinking is 21 and to get into clubs and whatnot. So that doesn't really add up. We can all sit here and speculate. It doesn't really matter because whether she was 17 or 20, in my personal opinion, it's still not right. Because you're talking about somebody who already has, I don't know how many baby mamas and how many children he has, but I know he has baby mamas and children. And so he still went with a younger girl, got her pregnant. That alone is just not really right. And I believe he's either late 30s or early 40s. I don't know. He's not really somebody that I can Google, that I could pull up on Google right here. Now you'll see people still supporting him, like, oh yeah, how could she have done that, blah, blah, blah. So there's half the community that still supports him, and there's half the community that obviously is against him. And
Marvelous is in his 40s, man. He's in his 40s. Now, he impregnated a female that was 16 or 17. Now, Marvelous says she gave him a fake ID, and he thought that she was 20 or 21 because of the fake ID. Now, when I seen the female, matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can find the video. Support the Cash App and support the show. Watch this. The female, now the female, he gave her a tattoo. He gave her he gave her a tattoo. He gave her a tattoo and he had sex with her. Now, this hyena right here, let's show you Marvelous Inc. right here. This is Marvelous Inc. Now, I don't know. Do you guys believe him?
From a car. We didn't do none of that. Or bringing backup or informants. We didn't do none of that. So it's kind of like how I was, back in my days growing up, looking at my dad. I respected him, but he was always in and out of prison, so it was hard for me to get a real grasp on who he.
Now, when I seen a female, she was developed, right? You know what I mean? She was developed. I'm not gonna lie, she could pass for 20 or 21. She, but damn, man,
he was as an individual. What choices would he have made?
Here she go right here.
And go ahead. The floor is yours. You can introduce yourself and
I don't know if this is her right here. Hold on, I don't
whatever you
know.
want to say.
Okay. So I'm Monica. Who's everyone has been seeing floating around the internet. Um, I'm here to tell, the story that everyone else wants to tell. Um, so the truth about all this is that yes, how me and Daniel met was my sister went to get a
Oh, this is her. This is her. This is the female now. I ain't gonna lie. She had breasts. She had a banging body. She looks grown. So I gotta keep it a stack. I gotta keep it a buck with you. She looks grown. Now, if she came with a fake ID, a lot of you guys would have hit it too. So I can't say that Marvelous was just on some predator stuff because she's developed. She got breasts. She got a body. If she came with a fake ID, I'm pretty sure 90% of you guys would have hit it too. I'm just being honest. And I'm not trying to excuse what Marvelous did, but I got to be real about the situation. The woman looks grown. Did she give him a fake ID? I don't know. Maybe he could be saying that. I don't know. But he said he gave her a tattoo. After the tattoo, one thing led to another. He had sex with her. He hit it raw. He impregnated her. And come to find out, she was only 16 or 17. But he said he thought that she was 20 or 21 because of the ID. Who knows?
tattoo. She invited me over. I went over. I liked his work. I already had work done on myself. Um, but I wanted to, how it is, try different tattoo artists. So I made an appointment with him. Before, getting into the tattoo, he did ask for my identification. Yes, I did have a fake ID, of course,
Oh,
because I already have tattoos. So
okay. Well, if she had a fake ID, listen, man, I don't listen. I can't call this man a predator. She looks grown and had a fake ID. So I listen, one thing about Supreme King Supreme, I'm gonna keep it a stack, I'm gonna keep it a hundo. She said she had tattoos already and she had a fake ID. So I can't be mad at Marvelous for hitting it because she looks like a grown woman. And if she came in there with breasts and a nice body flirting with you, 90 something percent of you guys would have hit it too. You would have hit it too. She's a good looking woman. She's a good looking woman. 90% of men would have had sex with her if she was willing to give it to you. I just got to be honest.
be done on myself. Um, but I wanted to, how it is, try different tattoo artists. So I made an appointment with him. Before, getting into the tattoo, he did ask for my identification. Yes, I did have a fake ID, of course, because I already have tattoos. So I know how it goes. They ID you. I provided him with it. In my I did say I was 20 years old. I think I did definitely look 20 years old. I've never looked my age. That's besides the point. Um, so I just kept making appointments, kept getting tattoos. It was all very professional until it wasn't one day we started texting. Um, we got involved and that's it. I actually I left the state after finding out I was pregnant. Um, Everyone has this narrative that me and him were in a relationship when in reality, I never even lived in Los Angeles since I got pregnant. So I moved out of state years ago and I happened to be visiting. I didn't let him know about the baby or anything until I happened to be in Los Angeles visiting and I ran into him in the Santa Fe swap meet. I seen him with another woman and I decided to, I don't know, I guess that was my chance to let him know that I was pregnant. Unfortunately, he found out along with his baby mom that I was underage. I was not 16, I was 17 years old. Um, of course, he was vivid. We didn't speak You know, all the messages of me demanding whatever I wanted out of him, it never happened, not willingly. Um, and that's it.
I'm gonna be real with you guys, man. You know me, I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. If she was flirting with you and she already had tattoos, she had an ID that said she was 20 or 21, 90% of men would have had sex with her. I promise you. So I don't think that Marvelous was just out looking for little girls. What I think happened was this. She was sexy. She had a nice body. She looks older. He did a tattoo for her. One thing led to another. He smashed her. He hit it raw. He impregnated her. Later on down the line, he found out that she was only 16 or 17. Yeah.
That's it. I was 8 months pregnant. He found out I was pregnant, along with finding out that I lied about my age. That's it. That's it. I was 8 months pregnant. He found out I was pregnant, along with finding out that I lied about my age. Yes, I lied about my age. I wanted to get a tattoo. But that's about it. That's the end of the story. There's not more to it. Me and Daniel have never been in a relationship. We simply, you know, I got
Messed
pregnant.
around. Fuck.
That's it.
Sorry.
There's not more to it. I know people were expecting more cheeseman for it to be more entertaining, but that's about it. He had no knowledge of me being the age that I was up until I almost gave birth.
Ah.
Can I ask you a personal question? It's just because, and it's just because.
This is Marvelous Inc. right here. So I don't. I'll get my thoughts later. Make sure that you guys bless the like button.
I don't want this only to be about this stuff. I think it's both. It's a learning experience for myself as well as you. And I guess, I mean, there's a lot of people that get lied to every day, right? There's guys that lie to girls. There's girls that lie to guys for whatever reason. That's on them. But why do you think young women, and I could ask you now because you're older, and this happened a while back, you know, our daughter's older already, but why do you think that young women choose to lie to men? Or, I mean, do you think it was maybe, I don't know. I mean, you give me your answer if you could answer that. What do you think?
So at a young age, I would say, I mean, I'm sure everyone is going to ask that. I was attracted to older men. Obviously, I mean, I lied because I knew he wouldn't have dealt with me if I told him my real age. And besides, I wouldn't have nothing would have gone my way the way that I wanted it. I wanted to get a tattoo. I wanted I just had a whole different, I don't know. It was because I knew that we would have never gotten involved, and that's what I wanted. That's why I lied. And honestly, I want to say this publicly in front of everyone. I've told you this many times, Daniel, but I really apologize for the mistake that I made. I made a huge mistake in lying to you, and I never knew it would have affected both of our lives in the way that it is today. I never thought it would go this far. I never meant to create this mess for you because nobody deserves that. I lied to him. Nobody has asked me. Everybody's going off of whatever the internet or whatever they're posting, but nobody has asked me the story. The truth is I lied to him. He had no clue, and now it's ruining. They're attempting to ruin him.
Right. Overall, I mean, and this is just maybe another personal question if you want to answer it or not, and just your brutal honesty, you know, what do you think about like the type of guy that I am? Do you think?
No, my thing is this, Marvelous. Why did you hit it raw? Maybe she was looking good and smelling good. You didn't have no condom. You said, man, I'm finna hit this. Man, I ain't finna wait for no condom. I'm finna take this down right now. Forget all that condom. I ain't got one. And even if he did have one, maybe she was looking. He said, man, hell no, I want to hit this raw. Yeah. He hit it raw. He impregnated her. Now the Rasa community is calling him a chomo.
Or what you know about me? Do you think I'm a person with like doesn't have morals, or like what do you think as far as whatever you know about me as a person? Do I seem like I'd be a foul person to go after a young girl or anything? And be honest, what do you think?
My honestly, ever since I met Daniel, that is what, and I know I was young, but now I'm older, drew me to him. He's always had high standards. He's always had morals, and before stepping into anything, thinks twice, or just the way he would think is what drew me into thinking, wow, this man is very, you would look at him and you would think the opposite. But when you speak to this man, you begin to realize that he is a righteous man. As much as they want to bash him, as much as they want to make you see differently, the people who know Daniel know that he has high morals and is far beyond that. That's exactly why I am doing this right now. I'm putting my face out right now. I'm telling the world that I lied because he's not the man that they're putting him out to be. It's my mistake. So I do have to face the consequences of my actions. This is something that should have never happened. I should have never lied to him, but it did happen. We had a daughter, and this shouldn't change anything because he did not know. I cannot go back. But I do want people to know that that's not the kind of person Daniel is. I don't even have to say it. I mean, like I said, for the people who know Daniel, know that he's a righteous man. He really is. And I can't or anyone else change that.
Um, thank you for your words. Thank you for your apology. I know you told me a bunch of times, and you say how sorry you are. I told you eventually. I don't know if you remember. I told you eventually it's gonna come out. Eventually it's gonna come out, and when it does come out, I mean, you just say what happened. It's like, what is it? We all make mistakes. I made mistakes when I was young. You made mistakes when you're young. My kids are making mistakes right now. They're young. And it's all learning, and mine just so happens to be in front of the world right now. And there's nothing better that you can do than just take from this and like my grandfather said, learn something from everybody and anybody and apply that to your life so you won't get caught up in the same circumstances, but thank you. I appreciate you calling. I appreciate those words. I didn't think you were going to say that or all that, but thank you really for that. I mean, thank you for the beautiful daughter that we have, for being a great mother. And I want to apologize because, yeah, like you said, you are in another state. I don't get to see her, but financially, I mean, you could let people know if I take care of her or not. I'm not going to sit here and say and toot my own horn. And I don't need no courts involved for taking care of my kids. I take care of them. But I just want to thank you for being a good mom. Thanks for being a good mother and showing your maturity and all this, and acknowledging your mistakes. And I got to acknowledge my mistakes. Everybody does, so I just want to say thank you for that, for calling in. If there's any last words you want to say or give advice to anybody or just anything, go ahead and you can leave them with the last note.
Oh my God.
Marvelous Inc., talks a lot about history, and things like that. He pulled up to the Viral Way podcast, to have a conversation with the Viral Way podcast about Lucky calling black people, African booty scratchers, right? So that was Marvelous Inc. that pulled up, right? And this is the high nod that he got pregnant. He has a daughter with this chick.
I would just definitely say learn from this, learn from me. Um, we do things when we're young because we want to be better. We're angry, but we're young and we're dumb. I know better now, and just learn from this. Learn from me and Daniel. This is, like he said, a learning experience. Um, we got something beautiful out of it at the end of the day, and yeah, just I guess think very thoroughly before making these huge leaps in life. Okay.
Thank you so much. So yeah, you guys go ahead and you guys are gonna place your judgment however you see fit, but at the end of the day, or the bottom line, I'm no pedophile. I don't look at younger women. I don't none of that shit. I've beat up pedophiles in front of my kids. So that's just I believe in protecting young women, especially our people, raza, women in general. I can't just say especially our people, but just women in general. I feel like they have to be protected. My daughter, my own baby girl, I don't want her to go down the wrong path, and it sucks, because it's just sad, But I'm glad you guys got to hear. There's so much stuff I could put out there, but I just don't want to do that. I don't want to sit here and bash any more than it has to be.
So that's Marvelous, man. Now, do you guys believe him? Do you believe this story? Do you feel like Marvelous is a chomo, or do you say, no, I believe the woman gave him a fake ID and that's what created all of this drama? Give me your thoughts on Marvelous, man. Do you believe the female lied to him? Because she said it herself. I lied to him. I had a fake ID. I already had tattoos, and I don't know, man. Give me your thoughts in the comments. The chat is going hard, huh? The chat is going hard in the paint. Give me all thoughts on it, man. Some people say chomo. Some people say, nah, she gave him a fake ID. I understand why it happened. Give me all thoughts in the comments. Scoop said, not one bit. No, he went to No Jumper. Look, he went to No Jumper, and I'm gonna show you the video. I'm gonna show you the video.
The main reason why we're sitting here.
Now, Lush had a one-on-one conversation with Marvelous about impregnating this young girl. Hit the like button, y'all.
Is because of the controversy of this recent
Correct
situation that's come about, right?
Right.
And Marvelous still dresses like a cholo in the early 2000s, right? He got that 1990s, early 2000s cholo stilo. Well, he is in his 40s, right? So, he ain't finna put on those skinny jeans and dress like these youngsters dress nowadays. He's an old school cholo.
Where apparently you wound up impregnating a girl who was
underage.
Correct. You know what I'm saying? You say that you had no clue beforehand.
Facts.
Why don't you break down the situation from your perspective, from the beginning to end?
So this is not a perspective. This is the fact. I was there, and there's a lot of people speaking on it, even podcasters paying other podcasters to talk about me. And that's cool. These are all oppositions that have had a falling out sometime, and I've spoken.
He was 43 and she was only 16 or 17. True.
Up on them. I even ran into them. So how this started was a girl came, and she came with her family or whatever. Not her, but her family made the appointment. I tagged on the dude, his wife. I don't know if it was her aunt or somebody that she brought with her. They came again, tagged them again,
The girl, when they first came, and this is the thing, when they first came, I don't work at a shop. I work from home, bro.
Right.
So when you go to a shop, you take copies of your ID and shit like that. I don't do all that shit. All that shit. I've been chatting for many years. You can call me a fucking, a hood famous tattoo artist. I guess. You know what I mean? There's homies that you go to that you
that's
get
pretty
down.
normal. I got.
So Marvelous Inc. is a tattoo artist. That's why she came to his house for a tattoo. Huh?
Like a bunch of my ink is from
Right.
backyards.
Right.
You feel me? Like,
Okay, so this girl came, right? One of the girls pops out her ID, like I needed to make a copy. The other ones all did too. So I looked at them. Nah, I don't need to do that. That's cool. You guys are all of age, whatever. The girl happened to have an ID that she borrowed, which is a fake ID, whatever.
but you're not really looking at it close enough to think that.
Well, the girl in the picture, it looks like her. The
Yeah.
same shit. They look the same. They have their hair in the way they put their hair or however, and they're the same shit. I'm not gonna right here grill everybody. If you do look underage, hell yeah, I'm gonna card you. I got a gang of papers, notarized letters, and this is something that I preach the most. And I don't know if you're aware of it, but say you're tattooing somebody, even if you're a kid. All these young tattoo artists hit me up. Hey, what's up? Can I be an apprentice? Can you show me how to tattoo? Yeah, homie, I got you. Let me warn you something though. If you tattoo an underage person, the minute you break that skin, you're held accountable. That's a statutory rape charge. You penetrated the skin. That's penetration of a minor with a foreign object.
Oh shit.
So even if you scratch a girl, if you're like messing around and you scratch a girl and she insinuates that it was something sexual, that's a sex crime and it's a scratch. That ain't no joke. That's real shit.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, make sure you get a notarized letter from both parents, because even if one parent says it's okay and the other parent can contest that, and that's still a rape charge.
Yeah.
So you got to have both parents come, get their IDs, take it to any notary, get that shit stamped, and that's it. Sign your. It's okay, Manuel Ayala, to tattoo my son or daughter. This is what it'll be putting. Boom, boom. I have a gang of those letters.
So is that what happened with this girl?
No,
Like,
because they all had their shit, and plus there was other people vouching that this is their family member and they're old enough. So and this is where people that are on YouTube, all my circle.
He's saying she had a fake ID, so there was no reason to go through all of that. Plus, she had people with her that vouched for her that she was 2021. That's the story.
Knows this shit. This happened about 5 years ago. So YouTube, all these other podcasters, fans that don't know my life, that don't know this shit, that don't know me or my character or my moral system, yeah, they're gonna judge me. Look at me, I would judge me too. I would be like, man, that fool, hit that fool, whack that fool, wipe that fool off the fucking map. I feel the same way about chomos or pedophiles. I don't like them. What happened, and that was a fact that happened. This girl came back. We had a one-night stand. We texted.
See, one thing that I don't like about the Rasa community, this is something that I don't like. We all know that females lie and tell lies. Now, Tupac went to jail for a sexual assault charge, right? But blacks knew that she was lying. That's why nobody black attacked Tupac in prison. We all know that females lie. When Tupac went to jail for that sexual assault charge, blacks didn't put a green light on him. Why? Because we knew the female was lying. Now imagine if we would have whacked Tupac over a lie that a female told, that a thought told. The black community was not going to whack Tupac over some lie that a female told. Now, if Tupac was Mexican, the Mexicans would have whacked him over a lie that a Ratchet 304 told. So I say this to the Chicano community. You got to stop believing everything that a female says, because women lie all the time. If black people had the same mindset as the Rasa community, we would have whacked Tupac over a lie that a 304 told.
And yeah, here's another thing. There was no conversation. I don't know this girl. I'm not right there asking her, like when you're going on a date, asking a girl, hey, what's up? What's your favorite color? Mia? Or what kind of music do you like?
Tupac ended up in prison over a lie that a groupie told. The black community had enough discernment to know that that woman was lying on Tupac. That's why nobody whacked Tupac when he went to prison for those, those SA charges, which were just bogus, made up charges. Pac had nothing to do with it. Clearly, the female lied on him. But the raza, if Tupac was a Mexican, they would have whacked him in prison over a bold-faced lie that a 304 told.
Every girl texts now, add me on Gram, add me on Snapchat, and it's a texting thing. What's up? You're handsome. You're cute. How do you really get to know a girl like that? We messed around one time. She got pregnant. The next month, I had my other baby.
Well, when you when you initially tatted her up, what was the tattoo that you gave her?
Butterfly, I think.
Okay, and I mean,
and she was already. They were all of them were all tatted. You know, not that that matters.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
but
no,
I'm saying that
I'd seen her say that she had previous tats before that, so like,
yeah.
which is probably gonna give you another, make you a little bit less on guard about like, oh, she already blasted. Da, da, da. Okay, oh, you 20. Da, da, da. Cool.
And then
I get that.
After that happened, you know, I didn't see her. I didn't see her after we messed around. We only got confronted when I was chilling with the next girlfriend of mine, and we're walking to the Santa Fe Springs swap meet.
Okay, but so a few questions. When you're tatting somebody up, that's somewhat of an intimate experience. You gotta like, you know, you're gonna be sitting there together for at least an hour and a half, even if it's a small tattoo, right? Like, and you're gonna be chopping it up during that time. You guys are gonna be conversing and things like that. Like,
You know what? You could think that, but some people I don't conversate with. I get a lot of ghetto ass people. I get tweakers that come. I got evicted from my pad before all this shit happened. My kids are right there thinking it's because of them. I got evicted because a couple came, and the girl was clowning the dude. I was doing the name on her. I was doing a name on him, Kimberly, and she was clowning him, talking about when I was almost done with the name, and she started talking about, you know, this is just a rebound, right? You know, this is just a rebound, talking shit to him, and they started getting down outside, and I got kicked out because of that shit. You know what I mean? So I'm not sitting there trying to conversate. I got homies that come to me and, hey, what's up? Trying to talk about neighborhood shit. I got girls that come try to flirt. Yeah. But then I got the people that are quiet, that don't say shit. And I have to
see, you got to look at the details, man. A lot of these females lie, and you got to look at it just like that. Hit the like button, man, and support the show. You already know King Supreme in the building, man.
Ask them, hey, if it's painful, hey, are you all right? You need a break? They're real quiet.
Now, I don't know if Marvelous story is what it is. Some people say, oh, man, he told her to say that so he wouldn't get in trouble. I don't know, man. I wasn't there. Some people say that Marvelous convinced her to lie for him. We don't know. It's up in the air. Now, what I can say is a lot of females do have fake IDs, and some of these chicks look grown. They got breasts, they got booties, they got a banging body. I've seen it. I've seen females that age with fake IDs who goes to, a lot of these chicks go to clubs, they go to events, and they have sex with grown men. This is a known fact. Now, some people will say, no, man, Marvelous knew she was underage. She's just lying to protect this fool because he's her baby daddy. I don't know. That could be true as well. I don't know. I wasn't there.
So I stay quiet. I don't want to, you know, I want to get my money. It's backed up, homie. I'm doing 4 to 7 tattoos a day. You know, big pieces, little pieces.
Yeah. So she was one of the quiet ones.
She's
I'm
quiet
assuming?
to this day. I don't talk to her like that. I see my daughter every once in a great while. They're not even in the state.
So when she started, your interactions between when you actually went and hooked up with her and the tattoo session, what was that like? She just like
between what?
Like between the time where you tatted her up and then when you guys actually hooked up, how much time was
there ain't no conversation like that. That's what I'm saying.
You never even talked to
There's
her.
no conversation like that, and that's where I take an L on my side. There's no that is an L on my side. I'll admit that. I should have fucking did that, but I didn't. You know, I had 2 babies a month apart, and you know what? I'll admit it. That was some hood rat shit. That was some hood rat shit. And at 39 years old, but hey, I'm a single man, homie. I live by myself, and it's flattering for a girl in her 20s, early 30s to say, hey, you know what? You're handsome. You're handsome.
I'm not mad at you for knocking up multiple chicks. Like, you know what I mean? That's your.
So Marvelous already got baby mamas, and he got a son, and one of his kids is a Crip. He's from East LA, and he got a son who's a Crip. Right? I believe it's so. One of his sons is a Mexican Crip. Yeah. True story. I think Marvel is gonna tell you itself that he got a son that's a teenager in a crib.
Your business, you feel me? Like consenting adults, that's you. I get
Right.
people could have their opinions on that or whatever. I personally don't give a fuck. You
Right.
feel me? Nick Cannon probably had 5 kids this last week.
There's a
You
gang
know
of
what I'm
actors
saying?
that I could throw out on the road right now for roadkill, homie, that have babies with underage kids that you wouldn't even think that they did, and you watch their movies today and gangbangers today. I'm not gonna do that.
I agree with you. Some of these chicks look grown, but once you start talking to them, you realize that this is a kid. That's true. Because I had conversations with chicks that I thought that was grown, but the moment that they start speaking, I'm like, okay, this is a kid. I can tell by the swagger. I can tell by the demeanor. I can tell by the energy. Right.
It's their business, whether they knew or not. Hey, that's it.
Now, do you feel like it's more of a cultural norm in Latin American culture? Like, you know, I don't mean in America, but you know, when you go to Mexico, Central America, it's a lot more common to see significantly older men with younger women.
So here's where we get into the colonial thing, right? So
that is true. When you go to Mexico and Central America, it is common to see old ass men with 15-year-old girls. That's a common thing in Mexico and Central America. Yeah. True story. We ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing, homie. Now, let's get back to the content though.
a lot of Mexicanos still believe in the old Mexica way. When a girl gets her
significantly older men with younger women.
So here's where we get into the colonial thing.
I don't mean in America, but you know, when you go
Whether they knew or not, hey, that's it.
Now, do you feel like it's more of a cultural norm in Latin American culture? Like, you know, I don't mean in America, but you know, when you go to Mexico, Central America, it's a lot more common to see significantly older men with younger women.
So here's where we get into the colonial thing, right? So a lot of Mexicanos still believe in the old Mexica way. When a girl gets her period, she's of age and she becomes a woman and she's to be married off of a legit male, an alpha male with a good background of family standings that you want your bloodline to grow, right? That's where they still keep that tradition. You know, they like younger girls and they're out there spreading their seed, you know? Some people do that. I don't believe in that right now. I don't believe in that at all, as a matter of fact, because the mindset of a woman today or a girl these days isn't equivalent to what it was back then.
Yeah.
Now, my bad, but women are fucking dumb. They're dumb. They are. They got no respect. They don't know how to take care of a man. A lot of girls do not know how to cook. They want to be the boss. They want to drive. The girls do not know how to cook. They're dumb. They are. Because the mindset of a woman today or a girl these days isn't equivalent to what it was back then.
Yeah.
Now, my bad, but women are fucking dumb. They're dumb. They are. They got no respect. They don't know how to take care of a man. A lot of girls do not know how to cook. They want to be the boss. They want to drive. They want to control everything, the music, whatever. And you could listen to whatever you want. You could eat what you want, you know, but they want to be the leader of everything. And you can't be that way. You can't. And when you get into an argument, alpha male is always going to fucking come against that.
Right.
You know, a beta is always going to be, okay, babe, what do you want to go eat? Let's go wherever you want. That. This is what we're going to do. This is where we're going to go or wherever. If you don't like it, that's fine.
So
I agree with him on that. You got to set the rules and you know, dictate the program, because if you let a woman tell you what you need to do to be with her, that woman is dictating to you. She is leading you. Now, I agree with him when he said a lot of these chicks nowadays, they don't know how to cook. They don't have to cook because they got Instagram and they got a bunch of men telling them they're sexy, and these men are thirsty, and these men are willing to spend money on them just based on how they look. So this is why females can't cook. This is why they're so disrespectful. This is why they're out of pocket. This is why they're way out of order, because men don't require anything from women besides sex. If a female can hop on Instagram or social media right now, she can post a nice picture. This female might be disrespectful, a terrible sex history, can't cook, None of the above. But you're gonna have a ton of men to tell her that she's beautiful, even if she does nothing as a woman, even if she's disrespectful and she can't even cook for real. Because men are only concerned with getting sex. This is why the women are so disrespectful and mouthy. Most men don't require anything from a woman outside of sex. This is why they can't cook. This is why they run their mouth. This is why they're so disrespectful. I spoke about that earlier in this podcast. Thirsty men, you have weak and thirsty men who have created the disrespectful, out-of-pocket female. They're all over social media. They're all over social media. All she got to do is post a picture. A man tells her she's pretty. Never mind the fact that she don't take showers every day. Never mind the fact that she don't keep a clean house. Never mind the fact that she can't even cook. Most of you thirsty men only require sex from a woman, and you wonder why these females are so out of pocket and disrespectful. I blame it on you weak ass thirsty men. You don't require anything from a woman outside of sex, and she's making you pay to get that.
Quinceañera doesn't determine if a woman's ready.
Those are just made up shits that we've been rocking with.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where it gets interesting. So the whole reason, actually, no, before we get into your son and that whole thing.
Go for it.
So since we're still talking about this young lady or whatever, came through, got tatted up, you guys texted a few times and she said, come through and, or, let's link up. And then you guys wound up hooking up. You feel me?
Right.
Let's be real. Most men don't require nothing from a woman outside of sex, and she's making you pay for that. You took this broad on 10 dates before she even let you sniff the box. You're paying for sex. Most of you guys are thirsty and desperate tricks. You guys are simps. That's why these women are so disrespectful, because the average man don't require anything outside of sex, and she's making you pay for that.
During that time at all, like, now, obviously, like, when you look at fake IDs, because, we've all had fake IDs. I got a fake ID on Alvarado when I was 16. You know what I mean? Like, most fake IDs are going to either say 18 or 21.
It's not a fake ID like that. I'm not a bar. She didn't come to get liquor. She borrowed her whoever she knows is the ID. That's a fake ID anyways to me.
Right.
It's somebody that was 20.
Right.
This isn't a 21 or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how people get that. Like, oh, she got this ID made. Like, no, it's not made. The date of the birth or whatever equal to 20 years old.
Yeah. And if you're, to be fair, if you're not a bouncer at clubs, you might, I don't know exactly what to look for.
Yeah,
but
yeah, man. So I'm just listen. I'm not taking up for Marvelous. I'm just speaking about the mindset of women in general in today's society. Most men don't require anything from a woman outside of sex. She posts a nice picture. Listen, you got females who post. They get on social media and they say something that makes sense in the post. But if you deal with this woman in real life, you realize she can't cook. She don't keep a clean house. She's mouthy and disrespectful. But you're telling her she's beautiful because of her profile picture, and you don't even know how she operates in real life. I blame it on you weak, thirsty ass men. You guys have created the disrespectful, out-of-pocket female. You guys have created this monster. I blame it on you guys.
And somebody said, and they're absolutely right. Somebody said in the comment section, "Hey, you know what? You should have had a card reader. You know what? I should have a card reader. But hey, I tattoo on."
What did I tell you earlier? She ain't even got to work for it. All she got to do is sit up there and twerk for it. And you got thirsty sins that'll tell her she's beautiful and how they'll drink her bath water. In real life, she's nasty. She don't keep a clean house. She can't even cook. She's mouthy. She runs her mouth. She's talking back to you. She's very disrespectful, but you are telling this woman that she's beautiful because of her profile picture, and you don't even know how she operates in real life. But you got thousands of simps telling this unworthy female that she's beautiful, but she is tacky and nasty, mouthy and disrespectful in real life.
On my pad, You know, I don't have a tattoo license. You need all. It's so easy for anybody can get their tattoo license. All you need is a bloodborne pathogen license. That's it.
Yeah.
To know how to be sterile and keep your shit clean. That's about it.
might as well go ahead and get that shit now, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Mhm.
So, okay. So you wound up there is no indication during that entire time when you first talked to her and hung out, like this girl seemed a little bit off. Like she seemed younger, she's not quite as mature. Like there was nothing that kind of indicated
We're
you.
not sitting there listening to music and shit. You know, that she came over and like I said, hey, my bad. It was on some fucking hood rat shit. You know, we did what we did. She got pregnant, ever, and went home. And I didn't see her till 8 months later at a swap meet where I thought this other girl was my baby's mom that I was with. That's another thing that's in here. She got confronted and we both found out.
So because the girl said that she slightly after hooking up with you, she wound up moving to Arizona or
Yeah.
whatever, and then moved back, or I guess was visiting
She
LA.
moves from state to state.
Okay,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know her life like
Right,
that.
right,
I don't
right,
know her personality like that.
Right.
You know, and when I put her on my show, I wasn't hiding.
Well, you hit it raw. This is the thing, Marvelous. You didn't know nothing about her. You didn't know about her background. You knew nothing about her, but yet and still you hit it raw. You hit it raw, so that shows a lack of discipline. So you had sex with this woman unprotected the first day that you met her. You didn't know nothing about her, and you hit it raw the first time that you guys met. That looks a little suspect, my guy. That looks suspect, my guy. Matter of fact, it is suspect. You hit it raw on the first time that you met up with her, and you didn't know nothing about this woman previously. She showed up with a fake ID, and you had unprotected sex with her because you were horny and thirsty at that particular time. So that shows a lack of discipline on your part, my guy. Come on, my boy.
From nothing. I ain't hiding from nothing. This text message that my son put out, I'm gonna show you right now, and you can read it to the public. This text message that my son thought he was exposed because of the other situation that we're gonna bring up right now. He thought he was exposing some shit, but you'll read it, and then you read it, and with your comprehension skills, you tell me what this says. I didn't have to. I could have denied this shit the whole time.
You want me to read
I
it right
coulda-
now?
Yeah, you could read it. But I'm saying I could have denied this shit the whole time. I didn't have to ask this girl, hey, you want to make a phone call and call in?
Okay. You want me to read it out loud?
Go for it, bro.
Okay, it's Monica Danielle once again. Our daughter will be here any week now. My midwife said 2 weeks at most. I need you to send the money now before she's here. If you have Zelle, you can easily Zelle it. I seen you're having a son as well. Congratulations.
Real quick, bro. My bad. And this is right after the confrontation at the swap meet.
Okay, so this is like within like a few days of that.
Yeah,
or-
these are those are timestamped.
Okay. Yeah. So you're having a son as well. Congratulations. Hope you can be a man and admit that both of these babies are yours. Either you accept it or not. Like I said, I'd be in denial. All you want, not my problem. And if you're still with the blood test BS, I'm so sure she's your daughter. If you don't financially support me now, like I told you before, since you had Vanessa's phone, when I texted her, as you know, a social worker will be in the delivery room, and I'm going to take advantage that I have one there already. I talked to a family lawyer and told them my situation, since you think it won't affect you regardless. If I lied of my age, at first a judge won't forgive you getting me pregnant at 16. I just turned 17 this year. And if you're so worried of having a responsibility, I want to let you know I don't want you.
Man, this is deep, man. This is deep. Make sure that you guys blast. If you haven't blessed the like button, make sure that you bless the like button right now.
Near my daughter, your baby's mother told me how much of a psycho you are. I mean, come on, you threatened to throw battery acid on her face and have broken into her home. All right.
Okay, so I don't care about that being out there. I have nothing to hide, homie. So what does that tell you right there?
It seems like,
and be honest.
Well, it seems like my first instinct is, you know, the famous phrase, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. She's clearly upset at you. You know what I'm saying?
But,
Like,
and that's a young girl.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
throw threats. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But what else does she say?
she wants you to, she's putting whatever situation you got with the other.
No, but she's saying that she lied. She's saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not telling her to say shit. People in the comments were like, "Oh, he probably told her." They're like, I don't talk to this girl like that to tell her what to say. And who the fuck am I to for her to listen to me? She's not around me.
Well, she made it very clear that, like, regardless, like, she's gonna
You're right.
take advantage of the fact that, you know,
And
she is younger.
And this is
You know
the
what I'm saying?
difference. And this is
So you got people saying, Marvelous, you coached her to say that. You told her to say that. Marvelous saying, I'm not around this woman to tell her to say anything. Everything she said came from it came from her heart. I didn't coach her to say anything. Now that's what he's saying.
why we talked about whatever earlier. There's a difference between, and it's a sickness, bro. You could look up the definition of a pedophile or a chomo. It's a person willing and knowing that person's underage and goes and still pursues that person and penetrates them if possible. That didn't happen in my situation. I had a group of people come, all identification, and I tatted one and messed around with one, assuming she was 20 years old. How? I don't go seek out little girls. I got 10 kids from a gang of women.
Damn, this dude said he got 10 kids. Now, no wonder why you didn't wear a rubber. You're not used to wearing a rubber. He said he got 10 kids from different women. Golly, I didn't know this fool had that many kids.
Who's that person and penetrates them if possible. That didn't happen in my situation. I had a group of people come, all identification, and I tatted one and messed around with one, assuming she was 20 years old. How? I don't go seek out little girls. I got 10 kids from a gang of women. I don't have a problem getting women. I don't need to search out little girls. And I'm not being conceited, homie. I could get a hyena.
No, you seem like you can pull some ladies. I don't deny that at all. There's like different accounts and different videos saying different things. Was there ever a video that was out where that said that you?
He said he got 10 kids from a gang of women. Oh man, now we know why you didn't wear condoms. Marvis clearly doesn't like wearing condoms. He got 10 kids with different women, with a gang of different women. How many baby mamas? Marvelous got like 7 baby mamas. You got like 7 baby mamas, man. Lord Jesus, bro.
Got her parents' permission for
No
that?
way.
Okay, all
no,
right.
her parents showed up when I met the baby, and my son did a phone call with Blue Dildo, and he even says we pulled up, and they were there with the baby, and the mom was saying how sorry she was. She was crying, you know, and I'm saying, yeah, I'm a gang member. You know, I'm from a barrio. You don't go do that shit and put somebody in the circumstances, and they're both crying right there, you know. And I'm looking at the little baby like, damn, like if it is my baby, I gotta take responsibility. And I told her that. If it is mine, I will take responsibility. I ain't hiding from shit. I'll never deny my babies. I love all my kids.
Right. 100. And you have what, like 5 kids?
I got 10
Like,
kids. Homie.
10 kids.
I got 6. Well, I have 9 kids. One, well, I mean, one's not my blood, but
okay,
you know,
yeah.
I got a gang of kids.
Yeah, you put numbers on the board for sure. Okay, so when
all right, man. Listen, man, we're gonna wrap this show up, man. He got 10 kids. Marvelous clearly doesn't like wearing condoms. He clearly don't like wearing condoms, man. Lord Jesus, Marvelous. It is what it is. This is crazy. But peace to everybody, man. Make sure that you guys bless the like button when you get up out of here. I gave you guys a 3-hour show today, man. So bless the Cash App, become a contributor, become a supporter, and because the content was dope, and it is what it is. I think we spoke on a lot of things, and it is. But check game. It's King Supreme. I got to get up out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate you guys tapping in, showing love for the content. He said, that's a lot of humping. Yeah, that's a lot of humping to have 10 kids. Well, Marvelous, it's clear to see that Marvelous don't like condoms, man. You got 10 kids. You've been putting in a whole lot of work. I've been stroking. That's what I've been doing. I've been stroking. That's what I've been doing. Stroking to the east, stroke it to the west, stroke it to the woman that I love best. I be stroking. Ha, that's what I've been doing. Ha, I've been stroking. Ha, that's what I've been doing. Ha, stroking to the east, stroke it to the west, stroke it to the woman that I love best. I've been stroking. Ha, that's what I've been doing. Ha. Marvelous had to get his Clarence Carter on, man. Look at Clarence Carter, man. Hey, homie, Clarence Carter put that song out back in the day, man. I was a classic. I've been stroking. Huh, that's what I've been doing. Huh, I've been stroking. Stroke it to the east, stroke it to the west, stroke it to the woman that I love best. I've been stroking. Huh. That's what I've been doing. Huh, I've been stroking. You've been doing a whole lot of stroking to get them 10 kids. You did. Damn, Marvelous. Oh, man. Hey, man, make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you bless the like button if you haven't already. King Supreme, man. I'll be back with some more content later on. I appreciate you all for showing up, man.